Hey, welcome to the show. I thought I had the slash screen up, I didn't.
No,
So yeah,
not at all.
no. Hey,
Always eating chips.
I know. I'll eat chips too if it helps.
You just want my chips.
Maybe.
Have a chip.
Yay! Hey, everybody, welcome to Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
And I'm Tiffany.
So this is the comic book show where we take books in the past week, recap, review them, let you know what we thought about them, and then give you recommendations for books that are coming out this week we think you should pick up. Normally, we talk about comics every week. This time around, a comic book movie came out. Both of you may have seen it. It's called Birds of Prey, or now, apparently, according to AMC's previews, it's called Harley Quinn, the Birds of Prey.
Oh!
Which is apparently what it should have been called in the first place.
Right.
Because nobody knows what a bird of prey is, outside of, raptors, like hawks and eagles and whatnot. But yeah, apparently nobody really knows what a bird of prey is. That was never more evident than in the views for our Birds of Prey Back Issues episode. Interestingly enough, I'm not since Edge of Tomorrow have I seen such a about face on a title for a movie. Nor have I seen the kind of confidence from a movie studio that thought, first weekend was pretty bad, change the title of the movie. That'll probably fix everything. Normally that would not work. Live, Die, Repeat, screw you. Edge of Tomorrow's good title. The Live, Die, Repeat thing, that was not the problem. Birds of Prey, though, interestingly enough, my argument about that, there's no competition right now. They're in the garbage dump of Hollywood's, preview slate. So yeah, take a week, put out a new movie. Hey, I might suggest dumping a couple $1 million into marketing, remarketing the movie. Hey, grab some of those positive reviews. Last time I checked, it was still above 60% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I haven't looked. I've not looked.
I don't normally look.
I saw a list of 5 reasons why it might have failed. The naming was one of them. So they're typically the Oscars don't really affect it, but for some reason Oscar chatter was out of bounds.
Interesting.
This year, a lot of it having to do, I guess, with the fact that Parasite was up for a Best Picture, and being that it was not an American film.
Yeah.
And so, there was the potential that more people were trying to go and see those films as well.
Right.
I think it's overwhelming. People just didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I think it's just people didn't... Well, it was a number of factors.
And
one, Suicide Squad was so lowly reviewed. 2, rated R movie, superheroes. I mean, but then you got the Deadpool argument. And since Birds of Prey is basically DC Deadpool, that argument is nil. Because Deadpool 2 was a thing. Deadpool was a thing. Both are rated, both did fine.
Right, but Deadpool had, Ryan Reynolds in its pocket, and, he creates his own marketing almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There you go. Apparently it's 79% on Rotten Tomatoes.
There you go. But you know what I mean? He helps to perpetuate his own marketing.
That's true, yeah. Plus, Ryan Reynolds is, a national treasure. Margot Robbie, beloved. People like her, but not quite on the same level.
Did you just put Ryan Reynolds in the same boat as Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Who is an actual national treasure?
Yeah, no, Tom Hanks is a national treasure, but he also earned that title with many years of experience and work. Ryan Reynolds just came into our hearts. He didn't ask for permission like Tom Hanks did constantly. He just kicked in the door.
Oh. And we thanked him for it.
I know. I certainly did. But so we're going to get more into Birds of Prey, or Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, as we go forward. But before we do, I wanted to mention that this show is sponsored by viewers like you. If you're watching the show live, you are sponsoring the show, whether you know it or not. All you have to do is use those super chats, ask a question, make a comment, and boom, you are now a sponsor of the show, and that money goes into the engine that is ComicPOP. We do really appreciate it if you do decide to use the super chats. That would be a huge help for us. So yeah, we'll just encourage them to do so, like these fine people right now, as if Siad helping us out in a big bad way. Thank you very much, man. And Nathan Gleason says, I was watching My Hero Academia, but you showed up, especially since it will be a while till I can see it, since no one wants to see it with me.
Oh.
I'm sorry to hear that. As I understand, it's a very popular show. People do enjoy My Hero.
Or he was talking about Birds of Prey, and that's why I want to talk about it, because he's like, I'm not going to be able to see it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because no one wants to see it
When
with
we
me.
saw the Birds of Prey, it was...
It was not well attended.
It was not well attended, no.
It was a Friday night.
Opening night.
We did have, I don't really think this really affected it, but the weather by us was not okay.
No.
It legitimately was not okay at all. Crazy winds, the whole thing, just not good.
Right.
So I was like, that could be keeping people away, because there didn't seem to be overwhelming a lot of people at the theater in general.
No, it wasn't like there was a stampede to go see whatever the hell was out.
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't name a single movie that's out right now. Besides Harley Quinn, The Birds of Prey. But
I had that. I was like, it's this.
No.
Little Women?
Little Women, yeah, that was out. I don't know.
Nailed it.
By the way, if you are experiencing issues with the show, as everyone is for the last month and a half, if you're using your mobile device, you will experience issues with the show when it's live. Nothing I can do about it. I would suggest contacting YouTube and making a complaint, but literally there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry about that. It's not your fault. It's mine, I'm sure. I'm sure I didn't put in a special tag, or I'm sure I pissed off the wrong person, but for whatever reason, there's no reason for it to be happening. So hold in there. Or if you're experiencing it live and you're having too much of an interruption, just watch it after the fact. Mm-hmm. Just watch the rebroadcast. So jumping back into the super chats, what was it? Saud Althani says, hello, how are you guys? Doing well, man. Hope you are as well.
Yeah.
Cash Money in the Bank says, definitely think it was the marketing. What?
Oh, that was nice.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you very much, man. Just wanted to say, I think definitely it was the marketing calling back to Suicide Squad. Why remind people it's such a bad movie while pumping up your new film from a different creative team? Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that on our Birds of Prey episode. I remember, like, Ethan and I were musing about how, like, it felt like there was no marketing budget. And then somebody said, like, well, the YouTube video has, like, 60 million views, something like that. And we were like, okay. That cost nothing to put up.
Yeah.
And, like, seemingly the budget was, like, very low.
No, they should have definitely did a little better.
I don't know. Oh, they should have done a lot of things.
Yeah.
It is a good marketing test case, though. I'm sure they'll be teaching it in schools. Film schools. Rusky9110, I feel like they tried to make DC Deadpool, but Harley just isn't the same character, mainly in my opinion because Harley isn't bulletproof, so her shenanigans are an actual threat. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The movie does a good job of kind of like showing you that she can be hurt, though she does get out of those situations fairly regularly.
That's like, but she's like Domino in that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but Domino, like, there's no tension.
No, I know.
Yeah. And Revan says, you're my favorite comic book YouTube channel.
Thank you.
And I'm proud to be a patron. Hey, thank you, Revan. Welcome. Thank you very much. So take this money with the best wishes. Thank you. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it. So yeah. Should we hold off and talk about Harley later? Do you want to talk about comics?
I don't know. It's up to you.
I guess we could talk about... We only have a few books.
No, let's wait, because like, if it is... We may go into spoiler territory, so let's talk about the books first.
Yeah, so hang in there. We will talk about the movie. And you know what? Yeah, at the end, we'll just spoil the hell out of it and just talk all about it.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, let's talk a little bit about Batman. Because why not? Batman's a thing. And people are reading it, presumably.
Yeah.
What do you think of Batman?
I thought it was fine. I mean, like, we're amping up that, like, Selina's obviously involved with this designer's plan.
Yes, the designer. Have you seen the design for the designer?
No.
Yeah, he looks overcomplicated.
Well.
But he is the designer, so.
Look, he didn't. Nobody said he was like a fashion designer
or a graphic designer.
No, I mean.
Well, maybe like design, he will have to go through a few phases before he really gets working.
Listen, I can design things, but I also don't know how to dress myself. So like, they're not all
I don't know.
Equal.
You put together quite the ensemble today.
I did not.
When we were out the other day, you got some fun outfits.
But like regardless, yeah. So this revealed like a Joker.
Yes. I
was trying to bury the lead, and I was like, forget it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, the Joker's dead. Maybe. A Joker.
A Joker.
Or not.
Or it could be somebody else.
Or whatever. Screw you. Why would you ask? By the way, I wanted to say at the top of the show, this issue, Batman 88, is written by James Tynion IV with art by Guillem March? Guillem? I don't know.
I don't know.
Probably Guillem. I'm going to say Guillem March. But yeah, good stuff. Good departure from Tony Daniel. And I don't know, I thought I remember them saying there was going to be like a consistent artist throughout. And I know that Jorge Jimenez is going to be taking over the book several issues from now.
Oh, that's exciting.
I know, and he released a couple of pages, or at least one page, and it's unbelievable looking. I gotta find out who colors that, because like the coloring is on freaking point.
Okay.
But yeah, the art's serviceable at best in this. It's fun. It's fine. Nothing egregious or odd. It wasn't like, ugh, this doesn't work. It was just kind of like, okay, that looks like a Batman book to me. A modern Batman book. It doesn't look like a classic Batman book.
I was not. Like,
no.
I wasn't like, wow.
Yeah. But, so yeah, they imply Selina has a relationship with the Riddler in terms of, like, working together. She calls the Riddler. She's like, what's going on here, as she's digging up the corpse of the Joker. I would assume that Catwoman is somewhere involved with the assassination of the Joker. He's dead. He has a grave. They dig him up. There's a dead Joker corpse.
Right.
Is this some clever way to screw over Jeff Johns yet again with that 3 Jokers thing? Like,
I don't know.
We'll kill 2 of them, lol. Or is it like a mystery?
Well, the conversation that they have is kind of weird because, like, you know, Riddler is like, you know, we always thought there's just 3 of us, but like there was obviously a 4th
in this like clandestine organization or group.
And then he mentions that like a bunch of like corpses were found with like melted plastic clown masks on their face by like an abandoned amusement park.
Classic.
And so like it's just like, do you know where the Joker is?
Right.
And then she opens up this coffin and she's like, I guess I do now. And it's like, so wait. Like, the fact that he is dead, I didn't take it as, like, I don't know. I wasn't sure to take it if they had buried him here and she didn't think that he was really dead.
Right.
Or they buried something here and it turns out it was
and
the
he
Joker.
replaced it or something. Because Tynion has also had a couple of issues, I think 2 issues had backups in it in which the Joker is hatching a scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this corpse is not quite the corpse that you expect because it has, like, either it's talking or it has like a voice box in it or something.
Yeah.
It could be a message sent by the Joker, like I morphed someone to look like me. I put a communications device in it.
It's also like a weird version of him.
Yes, it is.
Like the costume's a little older.
Yeah,
He has like a fuller face, even though he's, you know, decayed at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, somehow the whole look is still held up. Like his clothes are. I was like, what?
Yeah.
How long has he been in here?
No, that's the question. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot going on and not a lot of issue to find out.
No, and I guess that's kind of part of the way that Tynion does something where he's just like, here's the thing. We'll get back to that.
Yeah, and we'll get back to that.
Don't forget about that.
Right. Well, yeah, man. Friggin' Spencer's been doing that nonstop with his Spider-Man run. Hey, how about this? We'll put about that.
But Tynion does get back to it.
Yeah, unlike Spencer, he's actually
like he does get back to it. So I don't know. That really I thought was fine. The fact that Selina was going to be a part of this, I was like, sure, we have to create tension now that they're together.
I know. I was like, oh my God, really?
We need to create tension immediately for whatever reason. Fine.
Because tension gets money.
Yeah, and I appreciate that she immediately did want to tell him.
Yeah.
But then didn't get the opportunity.
No,
like,
she gets interrupted.
Yeah, like fate kind of took
that away from her.
Took that away from her.
Also, and I saw an article about this. They were like, "Oh, can you believe that?" And I'm like, "Man, it must be a slow news day, desperate for clicks." But like, Batman's got a Batmobile in his pocket.
Not really. It's just a hologram, and like Lucius makes sure to say that. He's just like, it doesn't have actual bat armor, right? You're just wrecking my really expensive car.
Right, and it's his car.
I love it. Like that Bruce must be like, I'm paying him too much.
Yes. I'm gonna take it out in his car. The idea here being that Lucius Fox has invented a thing. You put a device on any Wayne Tech car, which I'm like, oh, Wayne makes cars now?
No, it creates pieces. Like, so it's like engine parts or components.
Right.
So like that car was not a Wayne car. It was like but he knew that there were components in there that he could affect that would allow him to like boost the car's like speed somehow. Yes. And also take control of it.
Right, exactly. So Batman can make essentially any Batmobile in the city if he doesn't have a Batmobile, which is like...
It just makes it a fast car, but it also hides that it's not the Batmobile.
The Batmobile, yeah. Which is fine.
Like, it's like, oh, this is really the Batmobile, but who cares?
Yeah, it's a neat idea.
I get that because, like, if you're, like, really beholden to the idea that, like, not only is Batman on brand, which I know we make a joke about that, but like that Batman's brand is fear, and the Batmobile is kind of part of that. Like when that rolls up, you're like, oh,
you shit your pants. Yeah,
like this isn't going well. Like a fucking like expensive car rolls up, it's like,
right. It's like, oh no, Batman has a Lamborghini. Well, also it creates too many links between Batman and being rich or having
right,
connections
or
to Wayne.
even just like, did you just steal a car?
Yeah, or is Batman just driving a luxury automobile?
Like,
I mean, which is what he used to do actually back in the 30s and 40s.
Right, but that's not terrifying. That's not like, it doesn't look put together. It doesn't look as buttoned up. It's like, oh, is Batman missing a step? Like,
no, it's true.
I'm imagining the Gotham version of TMZ, like, you know.
Well, except for the fact that like when Batman invariably destroys each and every car that he arrives on the scene in, he'll be leaving a sea of luxury destroyed automobiles in his wake. So it's just like,
Yeah.
Anyway, the long and the short of it is Penguin kidnaps Deathstroke because he's like, nobody horns in on my territory, see? Deathstroke and his squad free themselves. Batman shows up to fight them. They get the better of him and kick his ass, and then they leave. Batman also, of course, defeated what's-her-name earlier in the previous issue. Cheshire, yes. And
depending on how you say it.
Threw her into his fake Batmobile to fight Deathstroke. Then she rejoins the team. I was like, wow, is Batman already going to be picking off each member of the crew? Nope. Whole crew gets back together. And then Deathstroke slits Penguin's throat to buy himself time. Oh, you can only get him to the hospital. So Batman is then like...
He's trying to save him. He's just like, okay, hang on. I'm going to
don't talk.
And Penguin's like, stop with that crap. Just listen to me.
Right.
We screwed up.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
There's a shell game going on here, and he names names. He's like, it was 4 of us. No, he says it was 4 of them.
That's right. Yeah,
he goes right out there and says it was Riddler,
Joker, Catwoman,
and
me.
And him. Which is interesting because it kind of puts that first scene into a different perspective.
Yes.
Where it was what was she looking for out there?
Right.
Are they aware of, are these 3 aware of that there are multiple Jokers, potentially?
Yeah.
Is this, they have some hidden knowledge
right.
that, has not been shared with the rest of the world?
Exactly.
And he just kind of spills the beans. So, Selina's not going to get the opportunity to tell Bruce this information, which is, of course, going to, not put
it's
her in a
going to hurt their
favorable
relationship,
light.
Yeah. But, yeah.
And we find out that the main target of this whole operation is, in fact, Bruce Wayne. And the reason all this stuff's going on is to prevent Batman from being able to focus on what's actually happening, which is to get Bruce Wayne.
Exactly. Little do they know, they just left him.
Or they don't, because it's just interesting.
Right,
that,
do they know that it's him?
Well, and I can't tell if is Tynan reverse engineering this plot so that it works with the relationship that Selina has with him? Was she meant to have a relationship with him so she could find out who Batman was?
Which is very Hush, because at the end of Hush, if you recall, the whole thing is a setup for Batman and Catwoman to have a relationship, and then at the end, they're like, well, it's all over, and then Selina says Hush, and he's like, oh, were you part of the whole plan?
Yeah, but in this, it could just also be it could be one of those where it's no, you
were you a plant?
The plan wasn't for me to actually fall in love with you, and I did.
Right, exactly. Well, that's very nice, but also enough of a reason for us to put the genie back in the bottle. Even though you could have easily done that with the 87 issue story arc in which we literally did that 30 issues after the wedding issue that didn't happen.
Right, or it could be that Selina Kyle was supposed to woo Bruce Wayne.
Yes,
and then discovered
she already knew that it was Batman. She's like, nah. It's all complicated.
Or did she at that point? Because we don't know when this whole
came
together. It could have been
definitely, she would not have set it up if she had known he was Bruce Wayne from the beginning. So when she first set it up with them, she didn't know.
Yeah.
Eventually she did find out and hoped maybe they would lose their interest or forget about it. Either way, so at the end of the day, Selina's rescued by Harley Quinn, and you're like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
And
then you remember that she's probably in it because Birds of Prey was coming out.
Oh, right, exactly. That's why she looks exactly like she does in the movie.
Which is fine.
Oh yeah, they do that all the time. I'm not gonna give them a ding for that because duh.
Yeah.
I will say a couple of positives for this issue were the genuine horror that I felt during particularly the burying alive scene when they were burying Selina alive.
They did a really good job portraying that.
And I've seen that I feel like I've seen it 1,000 times, or at the very least, if I didn't, I would have imagined it.
Yeah.
But because of the expert craftsmanship of Tynan, it worked so well.
Mm-hmm.
It was genuinely terrifying, and it was interesting to read.
Yeah.
And it was a really well executed sequence.
Right.
That really does have genuine horror elements in it. The idea of Selina with her eyes agape, covered with dirt.
Yeah.
As she
Well, they did a nice job of combining this gruesome horror of these men coming out of nowhere and when you think about it, because it's like it can be difficult to kind of portray this without doing it over the top. But
totally,
like, she's in a hole, like at least 6 feet down, according to every like saying you've ever heard. So like they're really up there.
Yeah,
like, they've got the high ground. Like
so she's defeated immediately.
But I'm just saying, so you've got that gruesomeness of like knowing what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Plus this like pseudo or actual supernatural horror of the Joker being on the other side of it.
Yeah.
So it's like no matter where she goes, it's bad.
Right.
I mean, she could probably could have taken the guys had they not had a shovel.
That's fair. Yeah.
Or she hadn't been so terrified trying to get out of the hole.
Really what it was.
Like, really, she was trying to get away from the Joker.
Right.
Dead or not.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
The plot about them killing Bruce Wayne, I couldn't care less.
No, again, the only interest I have in it is if they're going to play it off as part of like a foible to their relationship.
Right, which I'm sure they will. The page that Jorge Jimenez had was them like on a rooftop in the rain and her like walking away from him, or him walking away from her and her looking sad.
Okay.
So you're like, oh, I see what you're doing.
Okay.
Hopefully it'll be like the next page is that's stupid and let's not do that. But you can't begrudge them.
Right. Wait, you got that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to thank Plains Crafter for helping us out in the super chat.
Thank you.
Thank you for sponsoring today's episode, man. Also, Nathan Gleason says, what do you guys think of the encore teases with Chainsaw, Wonder Woman, and Knuckle Duster Superman? These are, of course, the teasers that Capullo and Snyder have tweeted, or at least posted, that are teasing their upcoming Crisis that will usher in the new era of DC 5G, and I believe it's called Death Metal, or at the very least, it's Metal 2. What do you think of those images? I will say that I like that it's not just Wonder Woman. Like I like that like each of them has like a different kind of like, oh, that's cool, like a like a neat action figure version of that character. Otherwise, I think it's too soon between metals, and for them to be like, yo, check out Wonder Woman and their chainsaw, and Superman with knuckles and stuff. Like, I literally just watched Superman get chained to a battery surrounded by millions of other Supermen, all of which were like dark nightmare versions of Superman, only for them to like descend into the World Forge and like, clash a metal such that it rang about throughout the multiverse and saved everything. Like nothing is interesting anymore. He has a slightly different outfit.
Yeah,
it's not enough. It's like it's not enough for you to tweet a cool picture anymore.
No, it's true. So I feel like it has like a Mad Maxian feel to it.
Yeah, I'll bet they drive cool cars.
That's the kind of like vibe I get off of it.
Yes.
Cool images.
Yeah. No, totally. They are cool. I think and Capullo, he's great.
He is.
So there you have it. Cash Money in the Bank. Goyim is usually Goyim or Goyim when American people pronounce it. French for William.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will not be saying it anymore. Kenneth Dowling says, hey, Sal and Tiffany, been a fan of yours for a long time. You totally rock. What are your thoughts on the Batman's grave? I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. I tell you, lol. Have a good guys. Listen, but first of all, thank you very much for digging us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And secondly, Batman's grave was excellent when I started reading. I'm trade waiting.
Okay.
Because I know that it's done.
Yeah, you don't have to...
I don't have to save it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to rescue this book by pre-ordering it or trying to protect it in some way. But I did read the first 2 issues, and I was like, cool. I want it all to be done. I don't want to wait between months because it's a mystery. I want it to be like... When I read a mystery, I want to have the whole thing. So I can read it all at once and be like, cool.
Right.
Month to month, then I'll forget details, and I don't want to have to go back. But it is excellent.
That's fair.
Brian Hitch, I could take him or leave him, especially when it comes to his art. So... I would have rather did the covers, but it's consistent.
Yeah.
So I dig that. Felix Nolasco says, did you guys check out Lock and Key?
No.
You
were with me.
I know, you were like, is Lock and Key on Netflix? Oh, shit! Yeah, we missed it, though.
I know it was coming out.
I know, but you didn't know it was out
I didn't realize it was out. Something happens in my brain from the time that, like, it's like I see a date for something, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Never remember.
Yeah.
And then it just goes away. And then everyone's talking about it. I'm like, wait, was that now? That can't be now.
That can't be now. That was so long ago. Or that was so long from now.
Yeah.
Time has passed. Yeah. But
I don't know what happened.
I assume you'll watch it.
Yeah.
How many episodes are there? How long is it? That's what
I'm gonna watch it no matter what.
That's fair. The Red Samurai says, Tiff, are you a Hayao? Are you a Miyazaki fan? I just discovered him and his films are blowing my mind. I love ComicPOP so much and would love for you guys to discover him too. Porco Rosso is my fave. If you know his work, do you guys have a favorite?
It's Princess Mononoke.
Right.
I don't even have to think about that.
No, it's, yeah.
I know for a lot of people it's Spirited Away.
Right.
Or Howl's Moving Castle.
Howl's Moving Castle, obviously.
But
no, there's a guy we know that was really pretentious who was like, always Howl's Moving Castle. It was like, shut up.
Man. But mine is always going to be Mononoke.
Yeah.
Like, that just hit me when I found that at the right time in my life. Like, it was so into the environment, you know what I mean? Like, not that I'm not now, but I think
you still are now, but
a little less so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that just hit me at the right time. I love the mixture of like that style of fantasy with reality, like those clashing worlds.
Yep.
There's almost like a Tolkien well,
it's a lived-in world. But it has mythology.
Right.
It looks just like ours.
Well, I was thinking because you know how Tolkien was always like, no, this is not a commentary on the Industrial Revolution,
but it clearly is.
But there's the idea of industry and like metalworking, and that's very much the antagonist. But what I love about it is like
it's not a mustache twirling villain,
right? Like Mononoke is like villain is like a villain that is somewhat like misunderstood.
It's a lack of compromise or reason.
Yeah, yeah, and like I just love that so much. So
like,
all right, I don't want to get into too much.
Mononoke, we saw it in theaters recently.
Yeah, it made me cry.
It was excellent.
Seeing it in theaters made me cry.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
I love that music.
Right. Yeah. And I'm not, I don't not like them, but I've only seen, I think I've only seen Mononoke.
You've never seen
Spirited Away?
I feel like you might have. Maybe you
I may have seen it like when I was in high school.
Okay. There are definitely a few I have not seen as well.
Yeah.
But
you know what's funny? Whenever anybody mentions Miyazaki, I think of your Miyazaki, the other guy.
Oh, yeah. Hosada. Yeah.
But, if you're just discovering Miyazaki...
Hosoda?
Yeah, you may want to check out...
He's the one who did The Girl Left Her Time, Summer Wars, Wolf Children, A Boy and His...
Blob, the NES game.
No. I want to say Dog? I don't know. And Mirai. I've seen them all.
You have seen them all. But he's also...
But very different. Like, a different style.
Very different. Yeah, but I feel like there's shades.
Oftentimes, like, seemingly a standard story that just suddenly goes... And you're like, what?
Yeah, it's a little odd.
Yeah.
John from Buckland says, in 2 issues behind Batman, I'm 2 issues behind on Batman, but I love Tynan's writing, and I'm glad to read it before it loses my interest with 5G. Also have some money. Thanks, John, man.
John.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I know. Like, the closer you get to it, the more you're going to be like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
Meow Nyan says, boy, I can't wait for my YouTube to be filled with a plethora of hot takes on why Birds of Prey is not doing well in opening night and how female-led movies don't do well in February. Thanks always. Yeah, I know. The search algorithm will definitely be like, hey, we give a reasoned and even-handed thought about this movie. And then it's like, and here's a dozen channels that have 20 times more subscribers than us that are complaining about it endlessly. So we apologize for that. By the way, if you click like the little burger menu or whatever, the little 3 dots, and then click like don't show me this video, you got to say tell us why, and then say I don't like the video, and then it won't recommend it anymore.
Oh, that's cool.
Red Samurai, hey Sal,
that to us.
Is that Jon Stewart, my favorite Green Lantern? Please show him off. Now the DC films are pretty much rebooting. He better be in Green Lantern for the movies.
I see him over there.
Yeah, there's this.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want it? Because let us know in the comments while it's happening right now. Hashtag Justice League. If you live in the continental United States and you want this figure, hashtag Justice League.
Right now?
Yeah, and I'll send it to you. We'll have Danielle pick a winner at the end of the episode.
Oh, look, because he's green. He's getting in the green screen.
Oh, no!
Whoa!
Whoa! Hashtag Justice League, win a figure. It's dope. Well,
that's right. I keep forgetting that I can't wear green on this show.
No, you can't. But yeah, no, this is actually from the DC Universe app Justice League figure line.
Yeah, it's cool.
We have the whole selection, and I have.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, he is great.
Well,
Hawk Girl.
Yeah, but he's also my favorite.
Yeah, but there are 3 more, so we'll do 3 more giveaways. And there's another group. There's another Jon Stewart. So
we have 3 Jon Stewarts.
We have 3 Jon Stewarts.
Nice.
But yeah, so maybe you'll win it. Hashtag Justice League. We'll have a random pick winner. If you decide to enter this contest, by the way, please stick around till the end so we can select you. And also, what was the other one? Oh, live in the United States and be able to tell you, I need to email you, get your address.
Yeah.
or you need to email me and get your address.
Yeah.
Tevia says, why is DC making Wally West into New Dr. Manhattan? I don't know, and I could not care less, but I do appreciate your patronage. I'm not going to get into it.
Okay.
I haven't read enough about it, and I don't care.
Okay.
Hey, let's talk about X-Men Fantastic Four.
Let's do it.
This is a much anticipated series from Chip Zdarsky and the Dodsons.
Yeah.
It is, of course, more Hickman, but it's not Hickman anymore. It's Zdarsky because Hickman's busy, I guess. But yeah, X-Men Fantastic Four. We're finally getting into. Remember that first issue?
Yeah. I do remember that first issue.
Yeah, tell Franklin when he's ready.
You can come on by.
Well,
hang
apparently,
out with Uncle Chuck.
Yeah, well, Uncle Chuck has no more patience for Franklin. He's like, screw it, I'm just gonna go get him.
Well, it's not even just patience for Franklin; it's patience for the
Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Well, no, I just love it how
Richards.
like Cyclops is like, we got time,
Yeah,
and
like,
Xavier's like, no, we don't.
Well, because partially seeming like the issue is that like Franklin's powers are depleting.
Yes, which is actually a holdover from the Slott series, which is happening right now. The idea being that Franklin, was imbued with some powers from the Molecule Man and whatnot, and when he and his father and family were like reshaping and rebuilding the multiverse, he had nigh omnipotent godlike powers.
Yeah.
But each time he uses his powers a little more, his power depletes.
But like, what about his regular power?
Right. Well, there is no regular power. His power is like reality altering. What does that mean? It just means like anytime he uses his power at all,
but that
it just goes away a little bit. Nope. It was just a made up thing that Dan Slott did to create tension. And now it's part of the story.
No. I meant, like, didn't he originally have power prior to being bestowed upon him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did. But I don't think he could, like, focus it to the point of making reality. Like,
because they're treating it like it's that power, that's
right.
What he's
well, because Reed didn't have that. The idea was that, like, they took the power from the Molecule Man, or his Molecule Man came with them, and, like, they used his reality-altering power. But, like, eventually, they would run out of it so that they couldn't. They would basically have used the proportionate amount of power to reconstitute the multiverse, and once they've used that up, then they're done.
Right, but like I always thought that Franklin always had reality altering powers.
Yeah, but he was also a little boy, so he didn't know how to use it properly.
Right, and I assume that that's what they're talking about here, is that his standard powers, like
that's what they're saying,
is like that's what's failing him now.
That's right, exactly. What we originally were hoping for, or at least what I was that like, yeah, okay, so the Molecule Man stuff is over, but now he's back to being Franklin Richards, who can still alter reality, and he's a teenager, and we got to teach him all that shit. No, that's also going away, which is a trope I loathe. That's like Neverending Story 2, where it's like I have a million wishes, but now I lose a memory every time I get a wish.
No, I like that because like he's the opposite of like what the mutants typically go through around like that age, that teenage age, where it's like he's going from having power to transitioning into just being a regular person with these incredible parents who are like the first family of the Marvel Universe. Yes. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, hi, and I'm the kid who can't do anything anymore. But I did remake all of reality, so
but
that
he's
was
also
fun.
a mutant, though. Like, how does that work? And then they're saying, like, oh, maybe, like, if he runs out of powers, he won't be a mutant anymore or something. It's like, no, genetically, you're still a mutant. Having powers doesn't mean you're not a mutant.
Yeah.
Beak doesn't have powers. He's a chicken man.
Well, I know what you mean.
But but it's funny. So, like, I love it because, like, this is the book for me. Because it's like, the Richards family is like, you're weird. You mutants are being very creepy and weird, and I don't like it. Stop it. Why are you wearing that, Chuck? You look like a lunatic asshole. And I'm like, yes, I love the series, and I love what they're doing, but it's like, but you're all being culty weirdos. And I like someone, particularly the Richards, who are like, you can't stop me. To be able to say to Chuck, like, you're being weird. Like, to call him out on it.
Right.
Because no one's calling them out on it.
Right. Well,
like, anyone who is like, I got a giant robot that'll kill you. And it's like, no, you're being too extreme. Just call a creep a creep.
Sure. I mean, I do like this because we will end up seeing by the end of this issue that, like, nobody's really right.
No. Well, Reed's pushing it. Reed's taking it too far, as he always does.
Reed's doing everything that I always imagine. Like, every time I read a book for the Fantastic Four, Reed's always just like this. And I'm like, I just don't like you.
Right.
Don't like you.
For me, it's like Reed is just a step or two ahead of everybody else and doesn't have the patience to catch us all up with him.
Well, I'm sorry,
So it makes him look like a jerk.
Then go someplace else.
Right. Well, he's human. He's going to live here.
I love Ben and Franklin like together, like, you know, chatting it out, and like this is like the first few pages of this, I was like, all right, whatever. When we got to this and we get this like awesome conversation.
Oh yeah, where it's like
Franklin's calling into question everything. Where it's just like, you know, my dad's the smartest guy in the world, and like he saves the universe like daily. How come we can't figure out two problems? You and me.
Right. Like, maybe because we're the most useful members of the team.
Yeah, like, maybe he doesn't want that.
Yeah.
And, like, even if it's not on purpose, maybe it's, like, subconscious.
Yeah.
And, like, Ben's like, no.
No, what?
No.
Right?
No, come on.
No, well, then he said, well, the answer he gives is basically just like, well, he couldn't because then he'd be a monster.
Yeah.
Which is fair, which I really enjoy. It's a great scene.
But this is where we see like Zdarsky knows how to let like the page breathe a little bit, because there's like a panel where there's like a beat. Yeah, there's literally it's a beat where like he says all of that,
and then it just dumps on them.
And it's like this silhouette of them just sitting there, and it's just nothing. Where like Ben's like processing everything. Where he's like, okay, no,
right, like no. But yeah, so the X-Men and the Fantastic Four fight each other basically because like nobody wants to just ask Franklin what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Ultimately, but I also love that Zdarsky is, because you'd think like Hickman should write this, because Hickman, of course, like revolutionized the Fantastic Four and did some crazy stuff, and is also doing this whole thing with the X-Men. So like you'd think he'd be like, oh, I'm gonna bridge these two things, but Zdarsky's taken over with this series, and he is like, I'm going to show you. Xavier and Richards are both arrogant jackasses who think that they are like the puppet master.
Yeah.
And I love seeing that dichotomy, and it's handled expertly.
No, it really is. And we should also mention too that at the beginning of this, we see this like pulling in of like the Marauders storyline where like Kitty Pryde is out doing her like boat thing and stuff like that. She can't come like on the island via the gate.
Yep.
And Professor X wants to see her because like he needs something, and it's because of her relationship, which I love that there was a big callback to this thing. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, which you may remember, because we did that, actually, on this channel. We talked about X-Men or Fantastic Four versus X-Men, which is like from the 80s. It was a great miniseries, which if you would like to see more, there's a back issues on it, check it out. But yeah, where they established that like Kitty and Franklin were buddies. Yeah. Kinda. And that like they had this close relationship where they like really lean on each other.
Yeah, and like Kitty is being used
big time
to like be like this, like, no, look, see, like, you know, if
it's not all bad.
If we go by ourselves, he's never gonna like consider it at all.
Right.
But if you go, and
your
I like
history
that, like,
will,
and like maybe Kitty is like whatever, like doing that, but like there's also a part of Kitty I'm sure that's going because she's just like, yeah, no, I will go because like I probably should be there like for the kid's best interest.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly how she acts.
Yeah, and she does. She handles it really well. But, you know, you get some fun stuff. The X-Men and the Fantastic Four fight. And, of course, Franklin is like, you guys aren't listening to me. And so he makes a run for the Krakoan portal.
Well, yeah, because in the house, like, Xavier and Reed and Sue are like, you're not going.
Right.
And like Reed's or Xavier's like, but you should go. Like,
right.
Come on, you should go. And like while this is all going on, and like, you know, Sue's fighting Magneto, kind of.
Yeah.
Like Kitty's like, do you want to get out of here for like a minute, like just to not be here?
Exactly.
And so she takes him to the park where there's a portal, and she's like, look, there it is. And like, I wasn't kidding, man. Like, I'll support you no matter which way you go.
Exactly.
If you don't want to go to Krakoa, I will stand up for you against Xavier.
Right.
And if you want to go, I will like help you, you know, with your folks, like whatever you want to do. And then it all just goes awry.
Right. Well, the Fantastic Four steps in because like Johnny's got to protect him, and then the X-Men show up, and they're like, and Wolverine's like, I know how to solve this problem with 6 knives attached.
He's
to
like,
my
I have
fists.
diplomatic immunity. Snicked.
Right. Like, what are you doing? But anyway, so they fight. And Franklin makes a header for the portal, and he goes through it, and he literally goes through it and doesn't actually end up in Krakoa because Reed expected this to take place, and he put a blocker on Franklin's mutation, or at the very least his mutant gene, which allows for mutants to be able to pass through the portal.
Masks it, so that Krakoa doesn't think that he's a mutant, and he's just like, I figured you might do this, but like, you know, this is for you're my son,
right? I'm protecting.
I know
you.
what's best. I'm the smartest man in the world. Yeah, I know what's best for you.
So leaving Reed to look like an asshole, the X-Men are like, well, that is all we need. A teenager will definitely like rebel. Goodbye, and they go through the portal.
Well, it's funny because it's like. Reed's like, you know, Charles, you could have just waited until he was an adult, and more than likely he would have gone there because, like, he's probably curious about it.
Exactly.
But you didn't, which means you've got a timetable, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
And like,
which I agree with, by the way.
Right. And like, he's just like, you know, like time will tell.
Yes.
And then like Xavier's like, you're right, it will.
Yeah.
Time will take care of this for us now.
Exactly, because I know, like, you know...
I know teenagers. I used to have a whole school of them.
Right. Well, plus, like, I have an inside track on what, like, the next million years are going to look like, and guess who's not in it?
It's true.
You aren't the blue lady librarian person. And you weren't in the sanctuary either.
Yeah.
Only 2 people are. It's
No, there are other people in the sanctuary.
Well,
there are other mutants, though.
None of them are the Fantastic Four.
Because they're not mutants.
Yeah. But anyway, so the long and the short of it is, Franklin complains to Valeria, his sister. The 2 of them decide to defy their parents, and they stow aboard Kitty's ship.
Yeah.
And end up heading to Krakoa, but they can't go to Krakoa right away because they get sidetracked.
They weren't going to Krakoa.
No, they were actually going on a
Kitty
peace
was
mission.
Like,
we're not going there.
What are you doing here? And they're like,
oh, oops. We just figured you were just going there all the time. Like, no.
No, I do things.
Right. So they were on a mission in a country that is particularly it's a Latveria. And they get captured by Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
And I love Doom's appearance. He looks amazing. And his response to... He was like, Franklin? What are you doing here? And where's your father?
Yeah.
Great stuff. Terrific cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about this series. And I also really like how... just design-wise, and I know I want you to speak to this mostly, but sure. All the X books have, they're very specifically looking design elements to them. But this book has a blend of that plus other. It's not necessarily Fantastic Four, but it's something else, and it's really pleasing.
It is.
And I like looking at it, but it's just really cool, and I see it throughout the book.
It's those near complementary colors,
right?
Sort of ish, kind of. And it really works because it's you got the Fantastic Four obviously represented in the blue, but the X-Men are traditionally blue and gold as well.
Yep.
When you think of their uniforms, and it has that this was designed look, which is what makes it feel so in keeping with the X books.
Right.
And the info dump page,
they
went blue because they're we're talking about
the Fantastic Four
here.
Yeah. But it's also the way in which it is presented is not the same way.
No.
It's not using Krakoan tech or whatever we're supposed to see.
It's more like an old science book.
Yes.
And I kind of love that.
Right?
It's way more like this old science kind of looking graphic, which I think is really neat, which doesn't make it look super old.
No.
There's a modern flair to it.
Yeah.
I also love Zdarsky writing Ben Grimm.
Oh, big time.
He seems to have a real love for that character.
Yes.
And I love later on when he circles back with Richards, with Reed about what he did.
Yes.
And he's just like, you're a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're an idiot. Mm-hmm. You don't know how to be a dad.
Right.
And Sue's like, nah, it's cool. We'll figure it out.
Right.
We'll figure it out. And it's
yeah.
Yeah, I know Ben is
Well, he dealt with it. Ben dealt with it the way a friend would, and then Sue deals with the way she would deal with it.
Yeah.
She's like, I know how to tell him he's being an idiot.
Yeah.
And give him support, the support he needs. So
but
it's cool to see those.
Sometimes you just need to be told you're an idiot.
Yeah. Well, that's where Ben is. So you got that, but yeah, a good book.
Yeah, it was a good start.
I don't know if I would have picked the Dodsons.
I would not. I'm glad you said that. I don't necessarily. I like the Dodsons.
I love the Dodsons as well
as cover artists typically,
and they would have done spectacularly just doing the covers.
We've also seen them doing other work. I think there's something about this inking that's really bugging the hell out of me.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, what's weird is I think it's Rachel Dodson, so I think it's the 2 of them as usual.
I didn't care for it. There's something that is really making the art look stiff and a little off.
Yeah.
Something there with that inking that I don't care.
It's
book. Really good looking and
a chance to look at it. I think that Cerebro on Xavier looks really dumb for the most part. Someone has to RB Silva and those people from Hawks and Pox can draw it without a hitch. Mm-hmm. I think Neil Yu can do it really well, but the Dodsons not so much.
Well, and again,
it looks goofy when they do it.
Not everyone is suited to drawing that kind of mechanical work, and
yes.
There is something that it's a little more heavy lifting. They're missing possibly the form of it, the size of it, how it really wrap around his head. It's just a little off.
Yeah, it's just a little off, but it's so...
It's off enough that you're like, oh,
because Xavier's whole outfit is a black leotard and the helmet. That's the most important thing to get right.
Right.
No notes. I'm just I don't know how I would do it better. It's just it's just another thing where it's that doesn't really work for me.
Yeah. No, I completely
It's more
understand.
I'd rather just see the Dodsons draw a Fantastic Four book.
Right. For me, I think it comes down to that inking, which is kind of unfortunate because I know the 2 of them work really well together, and I'm not sure what happened there, but
no,
I think the inking was a little weak.
No, I agree. Yeah,
so.
Maybe it was the coloring too. I don't know. The coloring because sometimes the coloring can make a book look more cartoony.
It's true.
And the Dodsons, depending on what you get, Marvel Knight Spider-Man looks a little different, very different from this, but it's the same team.
Right.
But yeah, by the way, hashtag Justice League, win a figure. Thanks for noticing. I've been keeping these out here.
It's Green Lantern.
Yeah, but there's more. But yeah, Al Sidra says, I'm a huge fan of your channel, especially back issues. Thank you.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Thank you.
Lucha Dandy says, being a TMZ's reporter in Gotham equals a bad time. No, I agree.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. You can't be that. I mean, you could try.
You could, but it would be a rough time.
You're gonna have a rough time.
Rodney Coverdale, just helping us out. Thank you, Rodney.
So much.
That's very kind of you. Rusky910 says, why are they doing another Crisis? Why reset the world again after putting so much effort into undoing your last reset? They never really did the undoing. They asked, Johns had a pitch. He did Rebirth. It was never a crisis. It didn't do anything. It just kind of like put a Band-Aid on the fact that most creators were just kind of doing whatever they wanted anyway. Like, New 52 was the decision, but it was made hastily and it didn't have a roadmap, so it was a mess.
Yeah.
And the creators they wanted didn't give a shit, and the editors didn't care either, so it became this, like, thing.
Right.
And then Rebirth just kind of, like, put a thing, like, a small Band-Aid on a aorta. It's just hemorrhaging blood, and it just didn't work. It just wasn't enough because it didn't come to the conclusion. If Doomsday Clock were the end, that might have been an explanation. So now we've got to do another thing because they never really did a proper Crisis. Hell, Metal could have been the Crisis. The first Metal. Dukan says, just sending my support for the channel and the shows I love so much. Really enjoyed that crossover video you put out, Sal, and made me a believer. Thank you, man.
Yay!
By the way, if you're not familiar, we did make this video. I worked on it very hard. It's a video about how to make the Marvel DC crossovers happen. It's basically, it's like 4 or 5 minutes. Check it out. It's in the description right now, actually. It's the first video you can find. It's also on the main page.
Yeah, I see it.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Hopefully you watch it. I think it'd be great.
It's a good one.
Thank you. So excited. Opinion on Raimi directing Doctor Strange 2.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know he's a fan. We'll see.
Yeah, he is a fan. He's as much a Doctor Strange fan as he is of Spider-Man.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
I really don't need Flying Fist Cam.
No, I don't blame you there. I do.
I don't.
I know.
I don't. I need that in like any movie that stars Ash.
Right.
Fine.
And maybe Spider-Man, but only if he's played by Tobey Maguire.
But like, I don't need that.
Yeah. No, I know.
Like, I need like really subdued.
Yeah.
Put together Raimi.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
See how it goes.
The thing is, if Nightmare is the villain, I think Raimi's a great choice for Nightmare.
He's gonna be swinging for the fence.
Yeah, he's gonna be. The thing is, I think he's gonna go for like an old school, not like whatever Derrickson thought.
No, here's the thing. You don't need to tell me that. I understand all of that.
Yeah.
My issue is literally in some of his film choices.
Oh,
that's where I'm like,
right. That's fair.
That's where I get concerned.
Heartless Fang, hey guys, recovering from a string of sicknesses here. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
Stay warm and hydrated. Also, favorite Studio Ghibli film will always be Kiki's Delivery Service. I've heard of that.
I've never seen it.
No,
which seems impossible because there's a cat. Yeah.
Alcidra, have you ever considered doing the Contagion No Man's Land arc in your back issues? Is there any way to make recommendations on Patreon, like Patreon rewards? I've considered No Man's Land, not Contagion. Probably not. Anyway, Contagion's short, so I could do it. When bad issues was a thing, maybe it would have been a definite, as opposed to now where it's like maybe. It really depends. If the channel gets on an upswing, if we're doing better, I'll be more inclined to do more of those.
Sure.
No Man's Land is a definite, just not sure when.
Right.
Also, I don't like. Linkara does those like Patreon rewards thing where it's like you pay enough and I'll do your video for you, but like it's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort. It's not just my schedule; it's multiple people's schedules to make those shows. I feel like if it's going to be a video that's like going to take like 7 hours of collective work, it shouldn't just be for 1 or 2 people.
That's fair, and also we don't want you guys to have to like to
pay for your video. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just the other thing is, wouldn't it be crappy if you gave me like some money and then like I was gonna do the video anyway? Like that. Yeah, it's not fair.
No.
So don't do that. And you don't want that. Trust me. Kyle Johnson says when I catch back up to him.
Oh, there it is. Nope. We're gonna find it.
Yeah.
Whoop.
There he is. I know that what Reed did is totally in his character, but I can see Batman doing the same thing. I love this issue. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh no, Batman's a jerk too. But yeah.
Best dads.
Right, best dads. Yeah, Reed and Batman. That's a cool combo. I'd like to see that. Kenneth Dowling, Sal, I can respect your opinion on Batman's Grave. I can't get enough reading it month to month with X-Men's second. Here's more money. All the best, guys. Thank you. Yeah, man. I listen, with X-Men, I can't wait. I'm not going to. Also, because whatever. The other thing is I don't read as many issues.
Right.
But yeah. Dan V900, I recently discovered your channel.
Oh, hi.
Welcome to the population, man. I love your content. I wasn't a fan of Birds of Prey and hated the portrayal of Cassie Kane. She should have been another character since it was so different. I agree. There's a lot of that. We'll get into it, I promise. But on that note, if I don't have to talk about it later, I will say there's a lot of we'll just use that name.
Yeah,
I don't care who it is.
There was a lot of that, and that is frustrating, especially. I mean, they're acting like it's all multiversal anyway.
Yeah.
So you never know when those characters could crop back up again, but I can definitely see that leading to confusion.
Big time, particularly for the smaller characters like Cassie Kane.
Yeah.
Cassie should not have been Cassie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hear what you're saying, man. Thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you.
Rusky says, has Hickman's run on X-Men ever been given a timetable, or is it just until further notice? I think it's I have no idea if it's a monthly or not.
It feels like
it's bi-monthly, twice a month. So I think X-Men's coming out next week.
I think he's talking about does it have an end date?
Oh,
and I was gonna say it feels like it does.
Yes. I mean, we know Hickman's a planner, so we know that it's not like with Jeff Johns, where it's no, I don't know, will it end? Will it just stop?
Yeah.
You know what? And it's not like Marvel's gonna get a bigger writer who's gonna derail what Hickman's doing.
Right.
So yes, there's a termination date. We don't know what it is. That's all I can say about that, because I don't know anymore.
Right.
Justin Rigsby, GBU idea, DC5G, MC2, something else with a time skip. Oh, time skip. I like that. I had a great idea for GBU.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear about it. You don't have to do it right now.
No, I can tell you now.
Okay.
That's fine. You know how because we're going to do metal sometime soon?
Yeah.
We could do the Batman issues.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah, let's put the Drowned in there.
Yeah. Oh, that was one of my favorites.
She's my favorite design.
Yeah. There's a statue of her that
I know.
GameStop sells.
I'm the person who's I like the look of the Drowned.
I didn't know you wanted
Batman
that more. Yeah, me too. I didn't know you wanted that. I would have gotten it for you.
Aw, you don't have to do that.
It's cheap. It's not a big deal.
Well, thanks.
Dan V900 back says DC is such a mess right now, where the Phantom Stranger is confronting the League in issue 39. Then he's captured in the sequel series. The editors are not paying attention where it sucks. I agree.
Yeah.
The editors are not. Well, the editors don't care, because I think for them they're we got a termination date. It's coming up.
Well, it also feels sometimes like some of the editors for some of these books have no power over their writers.
Yes, which you do. Just tell Bendis what he wants, what you need him to do.
Right, but it feels like the chain of how it's supposed to go isn't necessarily how it goes, because they just want to keep the talent happy.
Exactly.
Which there's something to be said about that.
There is.
But there's no balance anymore.
No.
Everything's out of whack.
And there's no power. Yeah. Who's gonna? What do you do if you don't edit the books?
Yeah.
And Super Duper Head Ass says, "What do you even do? Love your channel. You guys have expanded my love for comics. I'm happy to hear that, man. Thank you so much. I've recently read Watchmen and The Dark Knight Returns, amongst great works. Those are two great works.
Those are great.
So it's people's top 10. So
yeah.
You're in good company. Good start. That's an excellent start. Yeah, great job, man. I know that you read Conan, so let's talk about Conan.
Yeah, I'm gonna really just breeze through this very quickly, because I want to make sure we have time to talk about Birds of Prey. But it was Conan Battle for the Serpent Crown.
Yes. Is this a sequel to that other thing with Moon Knight?
Nope. This is kind of more a sequel to Savage Avengers.
Oh, good.
And by sequel, I mean
is.
Savage Avengers had a weird Zero issue.
Yes.
That I picked up and then realized
you?
it was a throwback, and I haven't had a chance to read it because it's 50 pages.
Okay.
It's really long, because it involves Strange going real quick. I read the beginning and the end of Savage Avengers number 0 just because I was all right, I will get to this middle part, which is literally just an old issue.
Yeah.
Looking, I believe.
Okay.
But in that, Strange goes to Krakoa.
What?
Yeah, he just poofs himself there. He's like, hey,
that's
guys.
awesome.
And they're like, you can't be here. No human may step foot onto Krakoa.
Yeah, and he's like, don't tell me.
So then he just levitates. He's like, there. There.
There, I'm not stepping on anything.
Wait, you got a problem with that?
That's amazing.
Freaking Sorcerer Supreme. What are you gonna do?
I love that.
He's like, I'm here to see magic.
Okay.
And then he tells her that Cullen Gath is back, and it's gonna be a real problem.
Oh no.
And she's had history with him, and so she's like, I'm ready for him this time.
Okay.
So that's filling that in. And then they'll continue going with that story, but this is post Conan going to find Cullen Gaff.
Okay.
And so, like, this book, written by Saladin Ahmed, with art by Luke Ross,
okay,
is Conan in the current Marvel age.
Right.
So it's a Conan wandering around the United States.
Okay.
Being like, okay, I have to kill a wizard. I have to find a wizard. Where is a wizard? And so, like, he ends up in Las Vegas.
Oh, no!
You know exactly where this is going.
No, I do! Thanks to you entirely.
Ha-ha!
No! It's me!
Oh, yeah. Conan ends up, like, trying to rob an armored car because he's like, a wagon. Clearly it has great, like, value to it because look at these armed men. So he, like, tries to beat them up. They actually end up getting the better of Conan because they've got this, like, electricity weapon. But, like, some chick shows up and, like, shorts it out because she was also going to steal what was in there. Okay. So then they team up. I don't know what her name is. And I don't think we find out. By the way, she gives him his cut because there's, like, a safe in there.
Yeah.
And there's no way Conan could have opened it. It's like a really highly electronic thing.
Right.
And, like, Conan's like, yeah, they were right.
Oops.
I literally would have never been able to get this open.
Yeah.
So she gets it open. She splits it with him and she hands him the paper money. And he's like, what is this? This is paper. Where's the gold?
Right.
She's like, that's money, sweetheart.
Yeah, they don't make that anymore.
Okay. She convinces him to go with her and is like, I've got a score that'll set us up before I leave Vegas because obviously we got to get out of here now because, like, there's no way that one guard doesn't remember what we look like.
Right. Yeah, you're very specific looking. Yeah.
And the score is that she wants to break into this like guy's penthouse to steal something because a friend of hers died and, like, this stuff was taken.
Yeah.
And he's like, you said I was going to be rich. And she's like, yeah, trust me. In the same place where the thing is that I need, this guy's got, like, all these emeralds and all this crap. And he's like, I'm in. So they go to this hotel, and it's
Mephisto's hotel.
It's the Hell Hotel.
Jesus, and, this like, damnation is just, they're getting a lot of mileage out of damnation.
And Conan's like, this isn't, like, a regular building.
Right.
She's like, nah, it's fine. Like, here's the plan. And she, like, goes over the plan, and then Conan just jumps on the side of the building and starts climbing it. Mm-hmm. And she's like, or we could do that, I guess.
Right.
Fine, whatever.
Take the elevator.
They get into the guy's, like, hotel room. Someone's already robbed it, and it's Black Cat.
Oh, okay.
So Black Cat's got all the stuff.
Oh, no.
And then we, like, cut to elsewhere, where the guy
in the hotel.
Where she was robbing from. Or it just says elsewhere, because don't forget,
oh, right,
Johnny
nobody
Blaze
cares.
is, like, going after him. But, like, this guy is talking to, like, Mephisto, and, like, there's a plan that, like, Conan's gonna bust him out. So, yeah, he's in his, like...
Okay.
But, like, this guy's also there, so I don't know how he got in there.
No.
He's like, Mephisto's plan is to get Conan to bust him out.
Okay.
And, like, yeah.
And that's how they're gonna wrap up the Mephisto being in there.
Because Johnny Blaze is doing something, too, though, so I don't know.
Right.
But I was like, all right, cool.
That's fun.
I checked this out just simply because of the fact that it's Conan dealing with the modern world. I initially wasn't, like, really gonna pick this up, but I was like, all right, let me just see what Conan's doing right now.
Yeah.
And now Black Cat's there, and, like, when she shows up, like, how does he describe her? This woman, she's comely and fierce. It's like, thank you, Conan.
I love it.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, that's Conan and the Serpent Crown. If you're not a fan of Conan being, like, not in a modern age, having effect on any of the Marvel universe, then this might be the book for you if you want to read about Conan, because this is literally Conan having to deal with modern world
and Marvel stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
So, kind of neat.
Yeah. Zishanali Laka. I'm sorry. But Zishani says Zishanahali. Zishanali. Thank you. Sorry. Zishanali says, hey, love your channel for years. You have gotten me to start to buy comics weekly thanks to your shows. Thank you for the awesome comment. Thank you very much. Sorry about your name. Not that you have that name, that I have the problem saying it. That's all me. But thank you for A, watching for years, and B, for that kind generosity. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Hashtag Justice League.
Hashtag Justice League. Win Jon Stewart. This is from DC Universe, by the way. Like, they don't make this. You can't just go get it. Like, you got to get it from their app or something, I guess. I don't know. But we have them all, friend.
Got them all.
It's great. See?
Not that one, though, this time. You get this one.
Yeah. Just John for now.
Yeah, I have a relationship with Hawkgirl.
Yeah.
And then things don't go right.
No, and they never really do. But I guess they do, because if you watch Batman Beyond, it does.
Yay!
But yeah, so recommendation. Oh no, Birds of Prey. So Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. So all right, let's talk about what worked.
All right.
I think that the brazen nature in which they steamroll ahead and go like, yes, Suicide Squad happened. Yes, we still want to do you know what I mean? They didn't try to pretend. They had a stand-in for Joker for deleted scenes where Joker like throws her like stuff out the window.
Yeah.
We've seen it of him with like his face is obscured by a window, but it's clearly Juggalo Joker from that awful movie.
Yeah.
And like they had that, but like not having him in there, kind of smart, but like it's that Joker.
Yeah.
You know, they shied away from it in the best ways.
Right.
But still like went, no, we're going to do this now. We're going to do this movie. It's about her. It's about these characters. It all kind of works pretty well.
Yeah.
In that universe. In that thing.
Yeah.
So that worked, I think. The fact that like they were like, hey, we're doing this sequel, come hell or high water, who cares? Right? Mm-hmm. I kind of really respect that. Also, it's very much like the Harley Quinn story. There are moments where like characters take like center stage, as it's wont to do in an ensemble piece. But for the most part, you're like, okay, yeah, Harley's story. Harley's like, and she's. I don't know if I find her sympathetic, but I did enjoy her journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it worked, despite her not like the show Harley Quinn's cartoon. I like care about her more in that show.
Yes.
There's more time spent with her in that show.
Yeah.
But I care more about like the journey she's trying to go on, and I buy it more.
Yeah.
Than this, like the breakup. She's like, Joker and I broke up for real this time. That's all you had. That's literally all you had was her word for it, a crazy person, and no other side to it, which would be the Joker, another crazy person. Like that, for me, the catalyst for the movie doesn't work so well because it's not enough. We super serial broke up. Like, that's not enough for me.
Right.
To really have a justification. But that being said, once you if you ignore that shit, and you're just in it for that, like where she's like, no, I'm actually going to do this thing for myself. You're like, all right. Like, I was on board.
Mm-hmm.
You?
Yeah. It's funny, like, what worked for me, was some of like the ancillary characters really worked for me, and not even ancillary, but like
supporting characters.
Like I really liked Black Canary.
Yeah,
I thought she was good. She was actually the one I felt like the most like.
Well, she was the one they spent the most time developing.
Right, but it was like without having to get her entire backstory, like I got her character. Right. You know what I mean? Like she feels beholden to this guy because like he kind of helped her out, like the Black Mask.
Right.
And, like, she's also, like, he's kind of a lunatic, but, like, I kind of owe him everything. Like,
exactly.
The fact that I have any success whatsoever.
Yeah.
But, like, there is something to her. Like, she's, like, like...
But she knows right from wrong. And...
Exactly. So, like, I felt a lot of development with her character with the short amount of time we had with her.
Yeah, and it's funny because I think they spent more time developing Renee's character than Dinah's character, but I liked Dinah's character more.
Yeah.
And, like, she fit in this universe fine.
Yeah.
Like, there was no weirdness. It wasn't like... Because it was, like... They make a movie called Birds of Prey. A, stupid idea. But B, people were expecting it to be like the comic, which nothing about it said it was going to be like that.
Right.
Like, it was never going to be like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was almost to their... Like, maybe it's that they were like, well, we can use Birds of Prey because no one in the movie-going populace has any preconceived ideas about who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And Harley will then be able to stand out while also being part of, like, the X-Force of the DC universe.
Mm-hmm.
And as opposed to them doing, like, Gotham City Sirens.
Right.
Where it's like, we have to cast a Catwoman from David Ayer's Suicide Squad type universe.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
we
gotta cast Poison Ivy. Well, yes. Because Gotham City Sirens would have been Harley, Ivy, and Catwoman, which would have been freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But it would have been complicated. I'm sure DC was like, we just cast Catwoman in our Batman potential DC cinematic universe reboot.
No, you can't
do
that.
We're not going to have two Catwomen.
You can't do that.
But they should have done that.
Yeah. That said, like, I initially wasn't sure about how well Black Mask was going to work.
He didn't really... Yeah. I remember hearing, like, Ewan McGregor, and I was like, I love Ewan McGregor, I'm in.
Right.
Then he's in it. First, like, 20 minutes or so, it's like, I see what you're doing. Okay. He's kind of sleepwalking through the role. He's making choices, but not too many very, like, clear character-driven choices.
Okay.
But then...
Yeah.
there's a turn.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, that's what I like about it. I'm like, Ewan McGregor playing this role, I would say it's definitely not just like Black Mask, like you may or may not.
He is
know.
not Black Mask from Under the Red Hood.
No.
From Batman comics.
No.
Like he is not the Black Mask. But, although he looks just like him.
Right.
When he's wearing the mask.
If you think about it in terms of what Joker exists in this world, then like he is a cracked mirror version as well of Black Mask.
Yes. Right. It's. And I know that, like, honestly, Suicide Squad is supposed to be part of the DCEU. It's part of Snyder's universe. But I gotta say, like, Suicide Squad is very much a David Ayer's thing.
Right.
So, like, I call it the Ayerverse because it's like, yeah, Captain Boomerang is this, like, unicorn doll banging, like, you know, everyone is a very, like, oh, Juggalo Joker. Like, oh, Harley Quinn. Like, bleh. Like, they're very specific characters and caricatures of those characters.
Right.
So it's like they all fit in that universe. Dinah. Very much the Ayerverse.
Right, but
Black
she's
Canary.
great. Yeah, but Black Mask, like, he's going along, he's being like Ewan McGregor. He, to me, initially was like Zeus from Tron Legacy.
Right.
Like the guy who runs the club in Tron Legacy. He's just having a good time,
right.
showing off, whatever.
A little flamboyant, but not too much.
Right, just a little, like, whatever, right? And then he has these little moments where it's just like you get a little peek of like the lunacy that he has.
Right.
And like it's just like a little like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
For me, I liked the moments where it's like he's in private.
Yeah.
And he has these like little affectations and these like okie dokies and like you just kind of you can tell why people listen to him and why they follow him and why he lulls you into a false sense of security. But then, like you're talking about, like, you know, we see two different Black Masks in the same club in two different times. Like he's in his club, he's like, woo, I'm Black Mask, I'm running my club, blah blah blah. Then you go to the next part of the club where it's like he's not on cloud nine. He's either on uppers and downers or he has like schizophrenia or something. Where it's like he's a person of extremes.
Yeah, he really is. And I also like him though, like in that moment when Dinah shows up and she's his driver now.
Yeah.
And like he immediately pushes away his best friend. I was like, I don't know if that's a spoiler or not.
No, well, we already said it was gonna be spoilers.
Yeah, that's true. Zaz is his like number one guy.
Yes,
and
his Bob.
And like Zaz is like clearly infatuated with him.
Yeah, and I remember like reading a thing before we saw the movie where a reporter was like, "It's slow. Are they gay?" And I'm like, "What an obvious thing to go for."
It's
like if anything, Zaz may be in love with Black Mask, but like it's so not important or drives the plot. I love Ewan McGregor's approach where he's like, "Sure," because like. I don't want to spoil the ending, but like he's just like, who cares?
Right, but like really for me, like that who
doesn't
cares
matter.
is like a fundamental misunderstanding of that relationship, I guess, because it's like.
Well, I like Black Mask being like, he's not gay.
No.
But Zaz might be.
Right, or like Zaz has like a like like an infatuation almost like the Joker has with Batman, like in a way where it's just like, no, you're like.
You're up here, yeah.
Like you're like.
Well,
no.
I think it's because like Black Mask comes from like money and like prestige, and then he's like, but he pays attention to a schlub like me, like everyone feels beholden to Black Mask, and he's like he feels like gratitude,
and like Black Mask also like embraces his like special set of talents.
Yeah, he doesn't want him to change. He doesn't try to change me. He likes that I do this.
He's like, no, go ahead, cut the faces off of people. Go for it.
That's what you like to do.
I love everything about you when you do that.
Well, it's like you cut people. I want you to cut their faces off. It's a perfect marriage of our thing.
Yeah.
You cut them. I like the face thing.
Right.
Like, look, it's like chocolate and peanut butter.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Black Mask just seemingly likes the attention he gets from him, and the fact that like Zaz is like always worried about him.
Yes.
And like, oh, you okay? You okay? Good. You good?
Right.
Somebody might be like betraying you or whatever. And like Black Mask in this, there's like.
I don't think he doesn't like regard him though. It's not like because Zaz seems like kind of very covetous of Black Mask and his Sionis. When Dinah shows up, he's like, I'm worried he's replacing me.
Yeah.
And I don't think that Black Mask is replacing him. It's more just like, that's who I am.
No,
I like
he's just like, no, I want everyone to pay attention
exactly.
to me. Like, I want all the attention.
Yeah, but Zaz doesn't know that.
No, and like, there is a lot of subtleties to like McGregor's like portrayal of this, and like how quickly he can turn it on and off.
Right.
It's like it's kind of incredible.
Right. Well, it's like a lesser actor, a character actor, would have like really played it one way or the other, or it might not have had the subtlety to it. But like McGregor getting him like that actually made the character more interesting. I mean, we spent like 10 minutes talking about this one character.
Right.
And I feel bad because I remember being like, at the end of it, I was like, I think I really loved Black Mask the most out of this movie. And it's like, this is very much like it's written by a woman, it's directed by a woman, it's a feminist kind of like ideal movie, and I like the dude in it. And it's like, I don't want to necessarily harp on that too much, but I do want to say like, I liked a lot of characters in this movie, but like Black Mask for me was such a fun through line in this. In this flick.
And I always like to like. When I celebrate a villain who's done really well,
and that's it,
because he is not necessarily the mustache twirling villain,
no,
but he is it's very upsetting like at times, because at first they're like, all right, cool, like so he gets Zazzy is dirty or whatever. There is a moment in the club that like the movie like you're like, wait,
the movie almost becomes like a real movie.
Yeah, like it goes in a really bizarre direction that like you think it's gonna go one way even at the end of that scene, and it doesn't. It just ends.
It just stops,
and you're like, this is what Black Mask is all about. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, he is just, like, an uncomfortable person who, like, is in complete control of his surroundings, even if he doesn't seem like he is. And he also has, like, this fear of others, like, laughing at him.
Very
or,
much.
Like, talking about him. Like, that he's not in control.
He wants control, and he wants to have acceptance,
right, which is really cool, and like that's it. Like, just Ewan McGregor did a really good job.
Yes.
As in terms of like the other characters, Huntress was
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Their interpretation of that character was kind of incredible.
I agree.
And there was a few moments in that where I was like, oh my god, this is kind of like what we were joking about when we've covered Huntress in books.
Yes.
Where it's just like, no, I'm Huntress. You know, remember me?
Right.
Huntress.
Yeah. Not Batman. I'm the other costume person in Gotham.
Yeah.
You would remember that.
Yeah.
Like, no, of course not. I love that. I also love the exploration of Huntress, Helena Bertinelli as a character. A, use the origin. Whoa.
Yeah.
B, they were like, no, a girl at like her age, taken away from her parents, who are already sociopaths, raised by a sociopath to train to be an assassin, would have very poor social skills.
Yeah.
And I love that idea where like, it's really subtle. She's not really in the movie. Like, she's in it, and like, she probably, if she has 10 lines, she has 1,000 lines.
Yeah.
And like, she doesn't talk much, but when she does, it's very much like this person on the outside who also, and maybe the whole movie is kind of about acceptance, but like wanting to be accepted and and belong, right? Like, because Huntress wants to belong, she wants friends. Roman wants to be accepted by everybody because his family rejected him. Harley wants to belong now that she doesn't have Joker anymore. Yep. And Cassie, who cares, and Dinah, of course, like, she's like, well, I knew what my mother did and what she was all about, and I don't want to, and I rejected that lesson because it led to her death.
Yep.
So now where am I? And that's kind of cool. Like, hey, this movie had a plot, it had a theme, and it had characters in it. Like, and that's not a bad trifecta, especially because all the actors did a really nice job with the characters they were given. Like I said, a couple of those characters, just names. Cassandra Cain, I think she's the weakest part of it because she's literally a plot device.
She really is. I mean, she's a plot device, but she's like also like an opportunity for growth in Harley.
Yes,
which is both simultaneously accepted and rejected.
Right. Like, which is cool. Like, which is totally acceptable and works very well in that kind of movie.
Yeah.
She is literally a MacGuffin. We could have replaced her with a tape recorder.
I was gonna say we could have replaced her with Bruce.
Yes, with the hyena.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The friggin' hyena has like just do Men in Black. He has a thing around his neck, and that's where the diamond is. Or he ate it. That's it. Bruce ate the diamond. Now it's fun, and we got to spend more money on the CG hyena.
Right. Which I love the CG hyena.
Yeah, Bruce the hyena, great. We speculated that it was a dog with a mocap suit on. I hope it was.
I hope so, because
I was like, is that a thing you can do?
But
can
here's
you
the thing:
can you mocap a dog?
Good on Margot Robbie, because she reacts really, really well to like Bruce being there or not being there.
Right.
Like, just really well done.
Yes. It's funny because I remember thinking, like, there's a lot of people talking about Cassie Cain and how what an injustice was done on that character. That's not the character. Like, it's not the character at all. It's just the name.
Yeah.
You could literally call her anything. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, Cassie Cain has a storied history and is a complicated character to put on film. I wouldn't expect her right away.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have and that character from the comic doesn't work in this movie in any way.
No.
It would not have worked to have made that character work the way that it does in the comics.
Yeah.
So, like, no one would have been happy. Just change the name.
Yeah.
And I think it was and you know what I think that was? That was DC being too, like, thinking they were being too faithful to the material. where they were like, yeah, we're doing all these things. We got this Harley Quinn show. We got this app. We're making stuff. We have 16,000 YouTubers all on one couch watching our cartoons. Like, we are paying attention. Look, Black Canary's in a movie.
Yeah.
Also, Cassandra Cain, and it's like, yeah, but that's not anything. Like, and you don't have to do that. It could literally, it should have been the freaking dog. Like, now I'm just like, oh, you could have changed her name. You could have made her somebody else. You could have made her Stephanie Brown.
Yeah.
Fewer people would have been mad.
Yeah.
Or the people who were mad would have been very mad. But like, it could have been Stephanie Brown. Doesn't matter. But like, it's so different.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should have been the freaking dog. What a waste.
Well, because that's just like, it's just like, fine, whatever. But then she doesn't get that growth of like being able to like have.
Yeah, now she feels like, well, yeah.
Yeah, but like, granted, she's obsessed with the hyena, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah,
so.
no, but the growth isn't there. It's not like her being like, no, I'm able to influence her, and through her, me. The growth is there. The character's there.
Yeah, I assume they wanted to, again, like you said with Cassie Cain, just do that just because of the fact that it was like, look, we know comics.
Yeah.
We know this name's in there.
Right. Yeah, we did Helena Bertinelli's friggin' origin.
Right, and I guess it could also be them just possibly just saying like, we were never going to use this character.
That's right.
And so we used it just to show you like, hey, we get it.
This definitely says to me, you're never going to see a Black Canary Huntress or like Renee Montoya, like Gotham City Sirens movie or a Gotham City PD movie.
Right.
Weakest part for me was Renee Montoya. Of the cast, of the main cast.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
She grew on me as the movie went on.
Yes.
Initially, I was like, you're pushing this character really too hard. Like, number one, why is she so old?
Yeah.
Number two, I don't like this person. And it's not like every character needs to be likable, but like, I'm not in with this character.
Right.
Like, why is she so obsessed with these characters? Like, why is she you know what I mean? Like, what's her tether to Sionis? Why does she care so much? Why is she such a go-getter? What is her connection to the Gotham City PD?
Yeah.
Maybe we could have shown her like on like a younger character, like on the beat. I don't know. We don't need deleted scenes. I'm just saying, like, there's something about her that was not enough. For what we did get was she likes 80s cops movies, and that's funny that she takes herself so seriously.
Right.
And I'm like, that's not enough. And the actor just, I don't think, did it enough. Like, and I think that's just because she didn't have enough to work. She was like, I don't know, you want me to be this character, but like, who is this?
Yeah.
And it's like, just have fun. Just have fun. It's like,
right.
I can, but who cares?
She's also an interesting character because it's like, the other characters, like Huntress, you don't necessarily need Batman in there to make her work. Harley, you don't need Batman in there.
Nope.
Dinah, you don't need Batman in there. Cassie, different story, but different character.
But also totally untethered from Batman for a time.
Yeah.
All the way up until her being Batgirl.
Like, Renee is part of the GCPD, which is obviously always affected
by Batman. Or at the very least, Gordon.
Yeah. And without those other characters there, it just felt like that police station felt so isolated from Gotham. It, like, to the point where it didn't feel like Gotham.
It wasn't.
Most of the movie didn't feel like we were in Gotham, except when we went to the amusement park, which I was like, ha, they did it.
Yes.
They did the thing.
Right. The amusement mile, which is a real thing.
Yeah.
Ace Chemicals also.
Yeah, that felt very, very Gotham. But like, that police station did not.
Not at all. Like, you had J.K. Simmons. At some point, you could have put him in a trench coat. Bullock would have been enough.
Bullock would have been enough to
all you needed was Bullock. Hell, you could have made the jerk.
Yeah.
Bullock.
Now, of course, I assume Gotham itself, GCPD, there's all different precincts. Maybe she's at a different one.
It's a big city, sure.
But it's weird to think of Renee Montoya not at that one. But this is a different version of her.
Yeah.
So, for me, like, I think I was having a hard time getting in the mindset that we're obviously doing a different character.
Yes.
We're doing a different version of this and just
But again, Renee Montoya is not Renee Montoya.
Right. And it's not even like anyone mentions Bullock. Nobody mentions Gordon.
Nope. The only cop in Gotham we get is Renee.
Yeah.
The rest of them are all jokes.
Yeah.
And that's kind of and if you're gonna put Cassie Cain in this movie, maybe cast Bullock.
Yeah.
Because you know who you did? You know you could have put Bullock in Batman Begins, but you chose Flass. So you've already done Flass.
Yeah.
So you could still do Bullock.
Yeah.
Unless you're saving Bullock for the friggin' Batman movie.
Which maybe they are.
And it could be this movie was totally hamstrung by a whole bunch of like Warner Brothers decisions. The reason why Robin and the rest of the Titans never show up in Justice League Unlimited is because of this weirdo bat embargo.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks on toast because it's like, you own all these characters. What's the point if you're not going to put them in everything?
Yeah.
But, yeah, so for me, Renee was, A, one-dimensional, B, a disservice to the Renee Montoya character. Plus, like, it's a Hispanic character in the GCPD. Her first appearance in the Batman animated series. Like, if you want to empower women and give them, don't make one of your Hispanic representations a joke.
Yeah.
Or a doofus who gets kicked out windows. Like, make her interesting. Make her cool. Don't make her this... And all so that she could fill in the gap for Barbara Gordon. That sucks. Like, that's a disappointment.
Yeah.
But by the way, none of these moments in any way made me go like, this movie's bullshit.
No.
It's just kind of like, when you think about it afterwards, like, oh, that could have been a little different, or that could have been better, or don't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
She did fine.
Yeah, no.
She really, like, yeah.
She definitely did. I mean, like, she clearly really enjoys playing this character.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird. Like, there was just something about the performance that it wasn't as, like, fully, like, realized at times.
Agreed.
I feel like it was just at times. I don't want to say phoning it in, because I don't think so.
No, it wasn't phoning.
But it wasn't quite hitting the mark every time.
No, it was not.
And I was like, that's interesting, because I know she's really passionate about it.
I know. Well, she produced this movie.
Yeah.
And so but I was like wondering whether I should say anything out loud about it, because I was like, do you agree? Like, but yeah, the Margot Robbie thing. You know what's funny? There's a scene in it where she gets this sandwich, and like it looks great and everything, and that's funny. But like her like weird obsession with the sandwich in this one isolated moment for me was like kind of like the representative of what I'm seeing that's wrong with Harley, where I was like, I don't really get it.
See, that I liked. I was like, that is Harley, fine. Like that to me, I was like, I totally accepted that. I embraced that. I was like, that's hilarious. And like it comes back at different points in the movie, but doesn't like hit you over the head with it. Yeah. Like when she sees Montoya, all she can think about is the sandwich. We don't say it and we don't see it. She's just like, you again.
Right.
Like you wrecked my sandwich.
Right. But I forgot about that because how stupid it was. So I was just like,
I did not. I was like, haha, because she wanted her sandwich and you get the sandwich call back at the end.
Yes, that's fair.
So like the sandwich has a full arc.
Yes, it does. And it works, by the way. I'm just saying, but there were moments where I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what is this? Like, that's weird. It just didn't feel as cohesive as it could have been.
I feel like a big problem with some of the cohesion, which again, this is not me saying I didn't like this movie, but like because I had a good time with this movie. This is definitely like a popcorn kind of flick.
Yes.
And I don't think it was striving to be anything else but that. And so fine, no problem.
Yeah.
The editing for me was not tight.
No.
And like when you have a movie like this that tells the story the way it does, which is kind of like we're here, we're there, we're here, we're there. Yep. You need an editor who fully understands that timeline and gets those beats. Yeah. And I feel like it was missing those beats at times.
Very much. That was a big problem that I had, where I was like, you're doing the out of sequence thing again. You're gonna swordfish this bitch. Like, what are you doing?
I don't mind that type of storytelling.
No, but it was too much. It was too much, and it was too frenetic, and it didn't. But it wasn't even like a Baz Luhrmann movie where it's frenetic, where it's like supposed to be like that. By the way, Baz Luhrmann would have been a friggin' killer version of this movie. I don't even like Baz Luhrmann, but I'm just saying, like, it would have been like, it would have felt like that, because it's like there's a lot of energy in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's all like oddly directioned. Like it's not all focused.
Yeah.
And I think that they thought that was a benefit, and it kind of wasn't.
Right.
The movie itself, like we said, there's arcs. Every character has an arc. Mm-hmm. Every character is like, it goes on a journey. Those characters all have like explanations for why they exist and justifications. There's a story and there's theming. It all works, but like it is kind of like it does feel a little all over the place.
Yeah.
There's another thing I wanted to mention about that.
Well, hang on. Like part of that, like the telling the story out of sequence, I think fits for Harley.
Yes.
It's just not executed like in a really strong manner.
Well, it's executed the way Harley would have executed it, as opposed to like the way a competent filmmaker might have.
I guess some of that, yes, but even still, there are just some like scenes where it's like we hang on a little longer than maybe we should have, or we jump back and forth maybe a little too frequently, and like that maybe that could have been serviced over here.
Yes.
And that's where I have that fall in the editor, where the editor just kind of missed some
just
marks.
Need to tighten it
on like where those jumps were supposed to happen, because like I appreciate those like that like storytelling like device to like reflect Harley's mentality or her brain. And like it's funny,
but that didn't feel like that. Like I was expecting when it was like told out of sequence, I'm like, oh, I see, we're doing the fragile psyche of this insane person, haha. But it didn't feel like that so much as it was just like a series of shots and sequences that we were just putting together.
What I liked about it though is like inevitably that like stops happening, obviously, as we've kind of done all the introductions we need to do, but also as Harley begins to piece her life together in a way, we stop doing that, which is why I was like, maybe some of it is intentional, but it's just not executed as well as it should be.
It's true, yeah. I will say that the fight choreography was excellent.
Yeah, it really, I really enjoyed it.
I remember reading something that made me pay more attention to it, but I will say that because I did, I was like, this is kind of cool, like, especially the assault on the precinct by Harley. That I was like, this all makes like every fight worked, every like contact. I was like, this is practically like a cartoon John Wick, like that. Yeah. And I was like, that's really cool that they really paid attention to making it make sense. It wasn't just like, it wasn't close cuts like Batman Begins. It wasn't wide angled. Who gives a shit? I'm trying to shoot an IMAX. Chris Nolan Dark Knight Rises.
Yep.
You know, it was an actual. There was thought put into it,
right?
And that really worked. So just hey, that's a really good strength,
right?
All the fights, except for and then when we get to the amusement park and all that, like it's all over the place. It's supposed to feel all over the place. That isn't as strong as the assault on the precinct.
No. And that, listen, here, the thing about that could also be like you have to work with people you have, and so you're gonna need. Renee Montoya,
yes,
to be able to do certain things. Granted, you can get a stunt double, and you will, but you're in a tight space. It's a little harder to pull that off.
Yeah,
and so like the fluidity of that sequence is probably not going to be there based on actors' abilities to do certain things, and also because you have so many characters trying to jump in between.
Yes,
Harley's there on her own in the precinct, and so like we're just following her arc of like getting through.
Yeah,
she does a move that I adored in there, in the evidence room, which. I guess I'll have to go back and watch to see if there's actually anything fun in the evidence room.
That's the thing. I didn't notice much, and I watched Mr. Sunday's breakdown of it, and he didn't have a lot of like references in it, so I was like disappointed because I was like, the evidence locker in Gotham City should be loaded with Easter eggs.
Right, unless it's a shitty precinct and maybe there's nothing there, but you're right by Ace Chemical, so I feel like something's going on.
I feel like you should have at least had a Riddler trophy in there. You should have had like
or something spray painted with the Riddler's mark on it.
A big thing of coins, just of silver dollars. Like if Harley had like thrown that at somebody, that would have been fun.
That would
but
have been
like
cool.
Umbrellas galore.
I know,
hey,
I know.
In fact, hey, you're Warner Brothers. You don't give a shit. Fill it with Easter eggs to everything. You know what I mean? Put penguins, rocket launchers in the evidence locker.
Yeah, or just some penguins.
You know what I mean? Like, but put stuff in there to really make it fun to watch. But instead, it's just like my bat's in here. But no, it wasn't even her bat. By the way, I know I was like, part of me was like, I know where that bat is because Kevin Smith took that bat from David Ayer and he gave it to his daughter. So like, I know that bat's gone. But like, there you could buy it at the Hot Topic,
right?
But like, that was a missed opportunity for me. I was like, oh man, when they got the evidence locker, I'm like, oh, this will be fun, and there's nothing.
Right.
There was an aluminum bat.
Yeah,
that's it.
Still, she does one of my favorite things that I've seen in a fight in a while, where like she needs some help from Cassie, and Cassie gives her a lighter.
A lighter, yes.
And then she just sets the guy's beard on fire.
Yeah, and it works so well. I'm like, that worked so well.
I was like, yes.
That's so funny.
That's such a good move.
Like, how cool. I've never seen that.
Yeah, and he's just like...
That's cool. I've never seen that, and it worked in that sequence, and that's really funny. It was fun, and it worked on every level. Like, it's funny that she screws up. It's funny that she makes it work. It's funny that it does work in kind of real life, or at least it tricks your brain into thinking it does.
Yeah.
Like, that all worked really well. So you got that going on. Like, that's really cool.
There's also, like, the moment that she picks at the bat is, like, an interesting, tiny, mini version or homage to Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Like, in a way where, like, Bruce Willis is like,
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
that was totally.
But, like, they're all kind of there at the same time.
Right,
And then he grabs one of them. Yeah. You know? Like, or she grabs one of them.
Right. Yeah, I was expecting that. And
which is interesting because she just got done doing Once Upon a Time with Tarantino.
Right.
And, you know.
Yeah. So there was a lot of that going on. Like, that worked in its own way, and that was kind of fun. I was hopeful that, like, the evidence locker for me was a disappointment. But a missed opportunity, I should say.
Yeah, no.
Like, hey, you know what could have been there? Friggin' Joker's, like, henchman jackets from Batman 89.
Yes.
Like, stuff. Hell, it could have been, like, well, not to interrupt, I'm sorry.
No,
but, like, you could have had, like, you could have had comic book stuff. You could have had a Batarang in there. You could have had, like, you could have had Joker gas balls, like, that look like from the comic book instead. You know, just, like, real-life versions of it. Because when are you going to do that? Ever not. Like, so do that anyway. So... You know, that was a missed opportunity, but otherwise, like, I think that there was a lot of things that worked in that.
I agree. I was trying to find the name of her landlord.
Oh yeah, I don't remember his name.
I don't remember his name.
But the Chinese food the Chinese food operator.
Yeah, the guy who owned the restaurant.
Yeah,
like
it was like Don or something, I think.
I was trying to find it. I liked him a lot. I liked him as like, like you meet him, I was like, oh, he's gonna betray her.
Yeah, no, immediately.
But like, it's spectacular, that whole sequence of event. He calls her what, Lotus Flower?
Yes, Lotus Flower.
Yeah, he's got a little nickname for her, Doc. His name's Doc, and like I liked his mini arc.
Yep.
It seemed like if the characters had the least amount of time had the best arcs.
Yeah.
Like even Cassandra Cain's arc.
Yeah.
Like even if she's not Cassandra Cain, this person, this actress, her character's arc.
Yes, that character.
We don't see a whole lot of what's going on. She clearly lives with foster family.
Yep.
But like, she's also a pickpocket. Like she's trying to make her own way.
Yep.
You know what I mean? All she knows is to care for herself.
Yeah.
And so like she ends up almost like stealing from like Dinah as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she can't. That's all we know about her, and like I'm like, I know a lot about her.
Yes.
Like it seemed like with less space they were able to tell better stories. Except with Black Mask, who had like a lot of time.
Yes.
But also had a well-developed story.
Totally.
But yeah, I like Doc a lot.
Yeah.
I really expected that to circle back around to him.
Yeah, me too. I think I'm sure it was a lead scene. Finding out that like there were missing elements and there were deleted elements.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, apparently. Like we can talk a little bit about spoilers. Like
Sure.
spoilers from here on out.
Okay.
Black Mask dies at the end, and apparently he didn't in the original cut.
They shouldn't have killed him.
Well, Ewan McGregor's not coming back.
But he's so good.
Right, but he was never going to come back for another one. And that's why it was like, that's why for me when he was like, sure, Black Mask gay. He dies at the end, so who gives a shit?
See,
I'm not making more of these.
I really took that as like a sure, like,
well, whatever you need.
If you want to like make it black or white, fine, whatever.
Exactly.
Like, if that's what you need to do, then that's what you
for
need
me,
to do.
he was like, I'm so beyond. I'm so not even in that headspace right now.
Yeah.
That like you can make him a woman. I don't care.
Right.
But yeah, but wasted opportunity because Black Mask. I don't like Black Mask. I don't give a shit about Black Mask. This version of Black Mask, I was all in on.
Yeah.
That sequence where he makes the woman dance on the table is fire.
Yeah.
It's an excellent sequence. That's a sequence that's like that belongs in a Batman movie. It's great stuff, and it's a damn shame we're not going to get it more. of it.
It's an amazing like villainous act without having to blow something up or beat someone up or steal something.
Shouldn't even get like slaughtered. It's just a humiliating and like it was just a horrible sequence that like makes everyone uncomfortable because you're like, oh, is he gonna make her strip and then kill her? Like, when is he gonna? Who's gonna die? Nope. And then like nobody dies.
Just
but
wants
it's just
her to stop laughing.
Right, and it's like that's really
and like to control the room.
That's
like,
so messed
all
up.
Eyes are on him.
Yep. That's really cool. Like that was such an excellent sequence. It was a horrifying sequence, but it was also excellent.
Music was good.
Music was fine. Yeah, it wasn't egregious like in Suicide Squad. It was just kind of like,
no,
it was cool.
It was there. They did their thing. There were some like fun choices that they made.
Post-credit scene, waste of time.
It really was.
It wasn't even a scene. It was just a voiceover, and I think it was a reference to the Harley Quinn show again.
Yeah.
Which I was like, just show the Harley. You know what you should have done for the post-credit scene? How about a 2-minute trailer for the Harley Quinn show in the DC Universe app?
Because you can show it because you're rated the movie R, so you can show it. It's not a problem.
Yeah, but Harley makes a reference in the cartoon show about about Batman bangs bats. It sounds like Harley's going to say that at the end of the thing. That's the only thing, and you're like, okay, that sucks.
I really was expecting to circle back to Doc.
Me too.
Like I thought it was going to be like Harley breaking the fourth wall and be like, oh, you thought I forgot.
Right, and then she turns back around. She goes back into the restaurant and kills him or punches him in the face or whatever. Yeah, no, it's just and I remember I only read that there was a post-credits moment. Yeah. So I was like, oh, we'll stay.
Yeah.
And the other thing we wanted... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, there was a very real moment in it for me and for anyone, I'm sure, who has longer hair.
Yes.
During that final fight, like in the amusement park.
Yes.
The funhouse.
The funhouse.
The booby trap is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Where like Dinah obviously has a lot of hair and she's fighting and she almost gets like taken down and like Harley saves her and then Harley turns around and goes, hair tie? And I was like, that's so real.
And she fights while putting it on, which worked really well.
Like, I'm like, that's very real.
Yeah.
Like, you're my hero if you have a hair tie and I need it.
Right. It didn't feel, it's funny.
It was stupid.
When people are bitching and moaning about how like this is like a woke movie about like femininity, and it's like, just because the movie is about women or starring women doesn't mean that it's like trying to say anything other than here's a movie with some women in it. And like that sequence could have been, if like Michael Bay had directed that sequence, it would have been really ham-fisted. But because like anyone else did, it was like just a funny moment.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I watch movies, and like, so I'm kind of tuned into this where it's like you're watching a movie and sometimes you're like, I am watching a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like, no. Or like, I'm watching a thing. I am now seeing what the director is trying to get me to be seeing.
Yes.
Please don't. And this did not feel like that 100% of the time.
I had a couple of moments, definitely, in the latter half of the film. It's actually when they're in the fun house
and they're all like hanging out.
And they're it's right before the fight's gonna begin, and they're like having a conversation, and like Harley's on one side, and the other three are on the other side, and I'm like, I'm watching the movie being shot right now.
Right.
And that's where I was like, and then we get away from that, and we're back. And I don't know if that was a pickup scene or something.
It could have been.
But it definitely felt like I was like, I'm watching the movie being made.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, the hair tie moment, we're like, I'm watching a movie about characters, and it doesn't matter that they're about women. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, that's, and for me, that was kind of like a real strength of the movie, because it could have been very much like a oorah, like, hey, it was about this, and I don't care who knows it, you know? Maybe that's how it was interpreted by people, but like, when you see it, it's just kind of like a movie about these characters. Yeah. And they just happen to all be women. It's not a thing.
No, I didn't really take it as that. The hair thing was just like,
that, but that's the thing. It's just that was a thing that was like, that's really cool. Like it's really cool that it was not overly done. No, it was just a thing that they did. That's like, hey, 51% of our audience will totally get that. Like that's all you need.
And honestly, some folk who just have long hair.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, are you in a band? You also notice.
You just need to get this away from here.
That's true.
I think there's one other thing we should definitely talk about.
We will.
Okay. Is it the
audience?
I was going to say the reveal of like that Dinah Lance has powers.
Yes.
In this.
Well, I thought you were going to do that by talking about the
audience. Oh my God.
Our fellow theater goers.
So like when we went
we saw it opening night, Friday night.
There was like maybe 12 people.
If that.
There was a woman who came in fully dressed. Like,
yeah, there was a cosplayer, or at least a young lady who dressed. She was a 1-to-1 Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn accurate costume.
Looked great.
Looked like so it was. I was almost like, did Margot Robbie come to like a random screening? Like it was very.
She's like over there.
She was alone.
And like that was cool, but that wasn't the show to watch.
No,
it was the people sitting over here to us.
Yeah,
it was
directly
like
to our right.
4 people. It was 2 couples.
Yes, 2 couples. They were very excited about Fast 9.
They're excited.
They were clearly like they were not here because they were Batman fans. They were here because they were like, I don't know. Because maybe they're one of the 60 million people who saw the trailer.
To see it. I think they're like, all right, let's go check it out. Like they clearly had some sort of interest. The lady closest to us.
Yes.
Like I was enjoying the movie, and then I felt bad that I wasn't enjoying it as much as she was.
Right.
Like she was enjoying the movie.
Yeah.
Like music, come on,
she's bopping. And not like in a way where she's trying to get any of his attention. She's like
at home.
Like when she eats a sandwich, she like becomes the sandwich.
Yeah,
like when she watches the movie, she's in the film.
I loved it.
Yeah, she was alone.
She's like anything tense happening.
And nobody gave her a hard time, which I was like very appreciative of. I'm like her boyfriend wasn't like, yo, Susie, stop. Like we're not home.
we're out.
But no, but like she was enjoying the movie, and it wasn't like 4 lunatics. We're all watching the movie doing
like
this.
Cheering
like that time we saw Pirates of the Caribbean, and there were like an entire row of pirates that came to the movie theater.
Real pirates.
Who were like, yo ho! Who like I think it was Pirates 2. And like as the movie progresses, their enthusiasm, they went from like yo hoing and screaming during sequences to like, oh, this movie's really bad. They were embarrassed. They were dressed like pirates.
But not this lady.
But no, this chick, she was all in. She's watching the movie.
Any sort of tense moments?
No.
Or I could see her hands. She's like,
yeah.
Fights are happening. She's like, yeah.
Yeah, she was
like, she's
doing like little punches.
But then,
by the way, full adult. By the way, not a 9-year-old.
Just having a good time. Just a full adult living life.
Yeah. I wish I enjoyed life like this.
Like literally, I was like, "This is awesome!" Like I'm watching the movie, but I'm watching you too. Like every time something happens, I'm like checking in.
Right? What's she think?
Am I feeling the right thing?
Yeah.
Because she's like my litmus test right now.
So then there's a sequence where like, we're setting up the whole fact that like Dinah has powers because like, how could you not do that?
Right, but it's like if you don't read comic books, you don't see this coming.
No.
Which I forgot.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, Black Canary. Well, for me, I was like, there's a 75% chance she won't have powers.
I was full on expecting that because like they mentioned that she has power, but like
right, but the power's in her spirit.
Right,
like, when she sang and she shattered the thing, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, no, we got that. But I was like, she's not going to use it.
No, I was like, yeah, she's going to use it.
So? I was like,
I just forgot about it.
So there's a moment in the movie, chips are down. Oh my gosh, there's only one thing that we can do that's going to get us out of here. Obviously, is Black Canary has to use her powers. So Sal and I are like, well, here we go. Yeah. I'm like, wow, she's actually going to do it. Don't forget. These 4 people clearly don't read comics.
Right.
And so Black Canary comes out, she does her canary scream, and she passes out.
Right.
The girl there, like over here, just goes, like full on, puts her arms out, like stop the movie.
Stop the picture.
Stop everything, thrusts her body forward, and then she
has superpowers?
And she turns around, she looks at her friends like, what?
What happened? By the way, not like disappointed. Like, she was like, I can't believe this movie took this turn.
She became the mind blown emoji, like for a second. Like she transformed.
Like if Warner Brothers could have planted her in every theater, they would have paid half the marketing budget to do it. Like
they just need to clone this.
I wish we had gotten her information because Warner Brothers would have loved it. Would you see every movie we put out, please? Just be in every theater, or just we'll film you. You know, we'll just plant all the people, a bunch of people around her. But just watch this.
Yeah.
And if you've only seen Birds of Prey, get ready. You know, for Suicide Squad.
Because like.
But she loved this movie more than any person will love this movie.
Yes.
But that reveal blew her freaking mind.
That this character that she'd been watching had powers.
Also has superpowers.
Like, oh no, I thought she just could really hit high notes.
Yes. Well, I thought she could just kick really well.
Well, no, because she shatters the glass. I thought she could just hit those high notes.
Yeah, but I didn't know she could just shoot waves of sound at people and blow over cars. Yeah. Whoa! Hold the phone.
Stop everything.
Stop the presses.
Put the lights on.
Yeah. I need a minute. It's amazing.
It was so spectacular, and there was something like that I was like, oh no, I have this expectation because I know.
Yeah.
Like I know, and I was like, I really, really wish I had that.
Yes.
To go into like a movie like that, which is why sometimes like when I go to see films, I try to I'm not reading anything. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I just want to watch.
Right.
Just yeah.
It really worked.
So good.
Overall, I would recommend it. I think that there's nothing else out right now. I'd check it out, especially because you can catch it at a matinee for nothing.
Go check it out at a matinee.
But catch it. It's fun. And once the movie is over, you can leave.
Yeah, you're good.
You can leave. There's no mid-credit sequence. There's definitely no post-credit sequence. That's worth a damn. Just go see the movie and catch it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because that whole crew in front of us who were really excited about Fast 9, they were really upset about plot points and stuff. They were like, I can't believe they revealed so-and-so came back. That's such bullshit that they had to waste it because I wanted to see that shit in the theater.
Yeah, these people just love cinematic adventures.
They do. It's like, wow, don't see a Tarantino movie or you'll die. It was amazing. But yeah, so I would recommend checking it out. I think it's fun. Overall, I think the pros outweigh the cons. I think that ultimately, if you're like, women, blah, Ewan McGregor's the reason to see it because he's so funny and great.
There you go.
He's just great.
Well, even overall, look, is this going to be the greatest superhero movie?
It's not even the top 10 best DC movie ever made.
No,
but
if you're just looking for a fun, just
departure from reality.
Departure from reality, popcorn flick. And if you can separate your mind from the fact that these characters are not going to be exactly what you're expecting,
they're not going to be anywhere close to the characters.
I'd say go for it.
Yeah,
you know what
literally
I mean?
just go in thinking that none of them are going to be like the character.
Right.
Because then if they are a little bit, you'll be like, oh, cool.
What was weird for me was we really have been into the Harley show on DC Universe, and I was like, okay, I have to really separate that Harley from this Harley,
right?
Because it's a similar setup but completely different.
Right, exactly.
So I'm like, put over here.
Yeah. By the way, the Harley Quinn show on DC Universe is excellent.
It's spectacular.
Although the last couple episodes are not nearly as good as the first couple of episodes.
Well, I mean, they're doing an arc right now.
They're doing a story.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know.
It's fine. I'm not I don't think it's bad.
Yeah.
But but Ivy's amazing. So yeah,
Ivy's my favorite. I love her.
I know. So before we reveal the winner of this episode, we're going to talk about Ray Mux, who says, "Hi, Outlawed. Outlawed sounds like it will be cool, but 21 years too old. 16 is much more understandable." I have no idea what you just said, so I apologize. But I don't know what that means. So we'll come back to you.
Yeah.
But thank you for your comment.
Hang on. Marvel to ban teen superheroes, an outlawed comic event.
Oh yeah. Outlawed is the Civil War, young thing. Joel and I pitched that event 4 months ago. You can catch it elsewhere.
Anyone who's under 21, that's what he's saying. Is that that's ridiculous?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's dumb.
Ha!
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for giving the context. Yeah, that sounds like a neat idea, but yeah, 21 is too old. 16, because that'd be funny, because Spider-Man was 15 when he became Spider-Man.
Right.
Jack O'Connell says, "Hey guys, hope you're well. We are. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I hope Spider-Man shows up to fight Conan Goth again and deal with that team of psychos.
Yes.
That'd be really cool.
No, definitely. Because like Spider-Man, like because I'm assuming Strange will be there. I'd love to see Spider-Man with Conan.
Oh
like,
yeah,
just like
that'd be fun.
Look at you.
Ooh,
what?
What do you got, Pilates?
I'm gonna ride you.
Let's go. Joshua Stevens, the dynamic of the ComicPOP team is phenomenal. I agree. Thank you very much. Wish you guys the best. Now, for the selfish question, any chance we could see Batman Cacophony in 2020? I have everything. Every episode is planned out till August or September. Cacophony's not on it, but there's always room. There are placeholders. Yeah.
That's not really what a bat makes, but I wasn't gonna make a bat.
Is it Cacophony? Is it Cacophony first and then Widening Gyre? I think that's it. I think I have Widening Gyre. I'll have to check to see if I have Cacophony. But I will,
Gyre.
Brian Rowlands says, best comic book page and commentary around. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you so much.
I am a huge comic guy, and I recommend you all to my friends who don't, you too, all my friends who don't read comics, to get them interested. Thank you. That's the idea. We're hoping that
thank you so much.
get people to watch and to read. Cash Money in the Bank with a big bad sub
Dude,
or help.
Thank
you, man. Thank you, Cash Money, for living up to your name.
Yeah.
Baby due tomorrow. Congratulations, Cash Money.
My gosh,
that is amazing. Dude, it's going to change your life, according to everyone I know who has a baby.
Yeah, congrats. Hope all goes well.
So he'll be missing the live show.
That's fine.
Which is fair.
Got to check in with us.
Yes.
And let us know how
fatherhood is.
What the name is.
Yes, please. Let us know who the young Kal-El is. And don't let the algorithm get you down. Next time I super chat, I'll be a dad. Think about that in terms of like that, like PD and P, like pre-dad and post-dad, like that world.
It's PD and PD there.
Exactly, it's just PD. But yeah, congratulations, man. That's freaking amazing. Thank you so much for your generosity.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you.
No, but seriously, we should be,
Mazel tov.
Yeah.
Is what they say. Al Sidra says, "Where's the Renee Montoya buddy cop movie or my Booster Gold Blue Beetle comedy? Just throwing out some ideas for what might make a good movie, just in case of a reboot. Honestly, like the fact is." There's a Blue Devil in the Swamp Thing show, so like anything is possible.
Yeah,
like they could.
Blue Devil,
Hawk and Dove on that Titan show look like they look perfect. You could easily do a DC Universe Blue and Gold show. Tell them at DC Universe, tell them Blue and Gold. And pick actors that won't cost much.
Yes, that's a key.
TV says, sorry I'm late to the stream.
That's
Don't
okay.
apologize. You'll catch it afterwards.
We went over time anyway.
Stream works better on my older version of the YouTube app on my tablet.
Interesting.
So there you go. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. Maybe they're just stupid. I'll have to check other live streams. I don't watch live streams on my phone much. Thoughts on the X-Men Fantastic Four? We think it's cool, but the art could be better. Check out the full discussion earlier. Hey, we really coordinated.
I know.
Algie Try says, hell yeah, it's ComicPOP. Off the Rack is off the hook. Thank you, man. That's very kind.
Thank you.
I'll have to use that. That's my book cover quote. For this show.
That's what we're doing from here on out.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to say.
And Al Sidra says, your show and Linkara got me into comics. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
I think Linkara predates us by quite a bit. So, yeah, that's fair. Let him have got you into this, and then let us ferry you into the future.
Yes.
But yeah, man, so let's talk about who won the Green Lantern action figure.
Let's do it.
The reveal. Hey, is Jason here? Looks like Jason Inman is in the chat.
Hey!
I came in late. Can you sum up Birds of Prey in one word? My review is Who Boy. I think it's frenetic.
I was going to say frantic.
There you go. Frantic.
That's really funny. Seriously?
Yeah. I mean, we just came up with it. But thank you, Jason, for popping by.
Yeah.
And if you haven't already, go check out Jason's Kickstarter
Do
over
it.
on Jupiter Jet Volume 2. It's really cool.
They made it.
They did. I know.
So,
I contributed to it. I gave them money.
I'm just saying, get in on the ground floor.
Yeah.
Is it still going?
I think
Jason, is it still going?
Yeah, it's still going.
Okay.
They may have reached the limit.
Well, I don't want to pitch that they can get on the ground floor if it's not still going.
Well, it's not the ground floor anymore, but you can still get on the trolley. So yeah, congratulations. By the way, I'm going to say your name, winner. Sound out in the chat to reveal you've gotten it, because I have 4 more people behind you who are waiting for you to screw this up.
What?
Lucio Bitoy 4, or the 4th.
Don't say to screw this up.
Lucio Batoy the 4th, sound off and let me know that you are in the chat and that you have won this Green Lantern figure, which is really cool. And it is a lot of fun. By the way, you can wear a green shirt. Your head isn't green.
Before there was I had it down here and it still caught it. Oh, yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's why I took down the things. That's why this is here, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, So while we wait for Lucio Batoy the Fourth to say something,
scroll down. Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
9 more days.
9 more days.
Only
9 more days. By the way, there's like some really dope rewards in there.
Yes,
like you could
out.
write a, hey, Lucio Batoy actually won. We did it.
Hey!
So congratulations, Lucio. Email me, sal@comicpop.net. Let me know your address, and I will mail this to you in the next couple of days.
That's like my second favorite healer name in Overwatch.
Lucio. Time to accelerate.
Yeah.
I hear that every freaking day of my life.
Listen, Lucio was like my main, then Moira came out. Then it was over.
I know.
But I still love Lucio.
Nerd King 101 says, just wanted to show some extra support. Last week was hard, I know, but I'm sure this week we'll kill it for you guys. Here's 200,000. Thank you, man.
So sweet.
Yeah, we did have a really, really rough week this past week. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on.
That's okay.
But yeah, listen, if you haven't already, by the way, thank you, Jason. And 9 days, check out Jupiter Jet on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
If you need a link, go to our episode that he was on from Elseworlds.
Or just search it. This should come up.
Yeah, or just Google it. But yeah, so Lucio Batoy the Fourth, email me, sal@comicpop.net. It's my actual name.
Nice!
But yeah, sal@comicpop.net. Email me and give me your address, and I'll mail this to you. If you guys haven't already, please, if you haven't, check out the video we released today. It covers the... a pitch for how to make Marvel and DC have crossovers again. It could be, if IDW was interested in doing this kind of thing, you could get not just like new stuff like the Bendis Batman Daredevil crossover, but also like so much more.
Yeah.
We didn't do the recommendations, so we'll do that in a second.
We don't have to. I didn't.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's just wrap it up.
Okay.
There are only 2 books, and one of them is X-Men. So, but thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Cheers and goodbye. Goodbye.
Yeah. Man. Before we wrap up, I do want to I don't normally do this.
Yeah.
But like.
No, please. Yes.
I hope I don't cry.
Yeah.
But there was an artist I really, really loved.
Yes.
I've known her since like back when I used to troll DeviantArt back in the day. And by know her, I mean like I've just followed her art. I've never.
You are aware of her.
Never had the opportunity to meet her. But she always has struggled with her health.
Yes.
And when I say that, I mean like she had like open heart surgery. She went through 4 open heart surgeries, and she was hit with cancer, and was given a year a few months ago, and she just passed.
It's okay.
And she really, like, her strength blew me away. And I just want to make a call to you guys to like appreciate what you have.
Yes.
And like, even if it's something small and stupid, just go for it.
Right.
Like, even if it's something that you never share with the world, just do it. So that's it. If you want to know what her name was, it was Ching Han. Her art name was Chini Art. She was just a beautiful person, and she was only 29. So that's it. I knew I wasn't going to make it through without tearing up over that. But we don't normally do that kind of thing. But like, that struck me.
That really struck you. Yeah.
Really, really hard. Like, because even up until the end, she was making videos. She was cracking jokes. Just being like, hey, like, you know, like, oh, I'm too young, or like stuff like that, or like, you know, like, oh, like, I've got chemo and it's rough, but like I want to like redraw all this work and I want to put it out an art book, and she never had that chance. And I just want to put that call out to you guys. If there's something you want to do it, because you never know.
That's
you
right.
don't know.
Yeah.
So if nothing else, just learn from this and like hang on to life and just live it however you want to. If it's doing something incredible, like going around the world, or if it's literally just having a garden in your backyard, just go for it.
What was her? How do we find her art now?
Oh, it would be. It's still on DeviantArt. It's still on Instagram. It's Chini Art. It's QINNIART.
There you go.
Just like
check it out. It's really it's beautiful.
She wasn't a comic book artist at all. She used to do anime art, like backgrounds. She painted them for animes and such. But this was her other stuff. Her full name was Ching Han, so it was QINGHAN. You know, her family's just taking it easy right now.
Yeah.
They've been through a lot. So that's it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, this is the channel, man.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, we wouldn't be here if we didn't try to live that concept. Yeah. So, but you know, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and of course, thank you, Tiffany, for putting yourself out like that. That's really like inspiring and very true. It's very real. Good for you.
Thank you.
So yeah, we'll see you guys next time. If you haven't already watched the other video, check that out. And there's more. There's so much more. Here, if you haven't already, patreon.com/ComicPOP. There's a lot of stuff over there. You'd be already watching Spider-Man Life Story if you were a patron over there. So
yeah.
What does that mean? It means that's going to be on back issues. It's coming out. Check it out.
Yeah.
So thank you all, and heed these words, because this is, you know what you're talking about. But thank you all so much, and we'll see you guys next time. That's all. Thanks a lot.
Bye, guys.